think that means he's going to be 100%, but him out there in a limited capacity with a game plan designed for an injured Deebo Samuel, I like that a lot more. Here are the two factors for me coming in this game that have me liking the Niners. This is why I'm laying the points here. Number one, I think Detroit's overvalued. We've seen Detroit play really well the last few weeks, win these games. Yeah. It was Tampa Bay last week. Big freaking deal. And you were tied going into the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. And then the week before that, it was the Rams. Good Rams team, but you beat them by a point. Okay? This is a huge step up against the Niners, and it's on the road, which leads me into the key point here. This is just the second time since October 23rd that Jared Goff's going outdoors. Second time. One outdoor game since October 23rd. One outdoor game in 3 months. It was against the Bears, and he struggled. This season, when he's playing outdoors, he is 3-2 with a 63% completion percentage, 5 touchdowns, 4 picks. When he's inside, 11-3, 70% completion percentage, 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. All right, now the weather's going to be nice in Santa Clara, but Goff outdoors, very different than Goff indoors. You also have a major problem with that Lions secondary, but here's point number 2. A lot of people are looking at the Niners and they're remembering what they saw last week against Green Bay. Niners had an awful game plan. Shanahan came out wanting to feature Deebo heavy, and he wanted to throw the ball all over the field. It's pouring rain. Instead of going with the stud running back, the guy stuck with his game plan like a stubborn mule, and he almost cost himself the game. So, number one, the coaching was lousy, and the execution on the field was lousy, and they still found a way to win the game. I think this week they have the benefit of creating 2 different game plans, one for Deebo, one without. And I think a lot of the public is focusing on how bad they look there versus how good they've looked in other games this season. So I like the Niners in this one. I think they're undervalued.
Excellent stuff, Joe. As always, have a great weekend and enjoy the games.
George Kittle over 62.5 receiving yards. Lamar Jackson over 61.5 rushing yards. Thanks for having me, fellas. I'll talk to you next week.
Love it.
Take care, buddy.
There you go. Joe Fortenbaugh, bringing it. Bringing it.
Hate the picks. Like those last 2 bets.
Do you like the person?
I love the man, but I'm going right up against him in both. How about that?
Interesting. Well, I'm not going to tip my hand. We'll come back. We got more to do. We're going to break down the football a little bit more. Some major injuries are being announced as well. Some returning, some not playing, and they will have an impact on who you select as well. New year, new run.
I needed something in the shop, comfortable.
I wear Brunt boots, as you see, got them on my feet right now. Keeps you warm, it keeps you dry, triple layered comfort.
Comfortable in the morning, comfortable in the afternoon. These feel like kind of like sneakers.
They're waterproof, durable. Been wearing them for over a year now. They're absolutely amazing.
This is the only shoe I wear in here now.
Brown boots are cool.
Wearing Brunt boots, my feet, my back, and my legs don't hurt at the end of the day.
Go online and try any of our gear on the job for 30 days, risk-free.
So, you need a suit, a tux even? Maybe you got invited to a fancy party, or you're someone's plus one, and the last time you resorted to a warehouse, you didn't like the way you looked. This time, get a better suit from the Black Tux, and we'll deliver it with time to spare. Try it on. If the fit isn't right, we'll replace it right away, for free. And on the big day, you'll look as great as you feel. With the Black Tux, it's easy to look your best for every occasion. TheBlackTux.com. Formal wear for the moment.
My favorite babysitter is Annalisa. She's pretty good. She's like my grandma. She says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" She plays with me. She helps you feel better. Bugs and insects are healthy for you. Amelia took us to the beach. She teaches me some gymnastics. We like color. We draw flowers, and then we go skateboarding.
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
You don't have to leave your living room to play the lottery. Just use the Jackpocket app.
Hot! Okay, everyone, please silence your phones.
I won.
I won! I won! I never win anything, and I won today! We won! Yes! Dollar bills, y'all, I'm out!
To win anytime, anywhere, download the Jackpocket app, officially licensed lottery courier service.
You're watching, yes.
Teachers are skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world, expertly discovering solutions. Inspiring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it's been a good week. It's been a good week. Exciting, fun. Particularly loved the first 2 hours yesterday. It was unbelievable how good that was.
I got to tell you.
Wait, the first 2 hours.
It flowed.
It did.
Even beyond, maybe that first 2:10, 2:15.
I think 2:12. Yeah. 2.
But I was only on after that point.
That's right.
Before we get to the football, I have to give credit and also a little blame to my good buddy Phil Mushnick of the Post.
Oh no!
You got to stop.
All right, so he apologized. He said, turns out, as Kay made clear on social media, he did not ask that question when we spoke about this Monday, and for that I apologized. You know what? Apology accepted. But then he goes on.
Nice. Oh.
However, Kay portrayed himself as an innocent victim of a fabricated quote when that was hardly the case. Then he quotes my Twitter tweet. Phil Mushnick was absolutely wrong. Anyone who listened to that segment knows I never said that. I guess one of his sycophants who report to him got it wrong because Phil is too fine a reporter to whiff this embarrassingly. And that was that. And for some reason, by reading that, right, what I wrote, he believes that I'm distancing myself from the conversation and the segment. Not at all. I own that. I'm the one who came up with the idea of the segment. And if you don't like it, that's fine. You can turn the radio off when that segment comes on. But my tweet simply said that the quote that you put out there was absolutely incorrect and wrong. That's all I said. I never intimated that I'm distancing myself from what Peter said. I even said when Peter said what he said about a former radio host that I never said that. That is exactly not what I said. So he said, but Kay's self-implied total innocence is dishonest. Guys, you could tell me anything. We're friends. In that comment that I made on X, did I have any self-implied innocence? I just said that the quote was wrong.
That's it.
I never said anything that I have nothing to do with it.
Well, first of all, there's this assumption that a crime was committed with the segment to begin with. That's just his opinion. So he makes it seem like, well, there was wrongdoing, and even though the quote was misinterpreted, you're still wrong for this heinous act to be committed. What exactly went wrong? Just a segment, just radio.
But then he goes on, Don. Thus, Kay's selectively dishonest social media response to which he claimed total innocence as the victim of a fabricated defamation was dishonest. Phil, where in that did I claim that? Where in that did I claim? I just said I was misquoted. You are extrapolating out, maybe, trying to defend yourself that you got a quote so wrong by saying that I'm declaring. I am not. The segment is my idea.
Right.
The words were Peter's, and then he also goes on to say that in text exchange, I would not say, I refuse to name the speaker. I didn't want to make the text exchange public, but I said to him, I said, do the work. I'm not telling you who said it. Yeah. It's very easy to find out the clip. Go to the podcast. Go to the website. Go to our app, which is a fine app you should download.
Beautiful. I love
so
it.
he kept asking, well, who said it? I said, I'm not doing your work for you. That was my response. I'm not doing your work for you. And it's not like I'm trying to protect Peter. I know that all he has to do is listen to it, and he'd know that Peter said
It's
it.
out there.
But why should I help him out with that? So I wasn't
It's out
trying
there.
to obfuscate for him.
You're not protecting him. But the overall thing is, first of all, what was so bad about it? And you took ownership. It was your idea. But you just were upset that you were being misquoted. You did not say what he claims you
Because
said.
I try not to bring up the name that Peter brought up. I just don't. Peter has no problem doing it. I don't want to.
Fair. And by the way, the whole thing is sort of, well, it's a couple of things. Number one, I've been trying to tell you for a long time that Phil, if he had a fastball at some point, it's not now, because these arguments that he's making, and this is Peter speaking, not Michael, the arguments that he chooses to make are not very intellectually sound. They're just not strong arguments, first and foremost. Number two, talk about intellectual dishonesty. The whole way that article read made the entire thing sound so much more sinister and inappropriate and bad than it was. Even my joke, it was just being ironic as a joke, because I knew, of course, Michael wasn't referring to a rival of mine in radio. It was a joke about intimacy. He didn't think that I would randomly mention the name of an old radio rival. It was a goof. It was just a goof. But when you put it in print, Michael, he makes the whole thing sound very serious and very coarse and horrible, and it's all intellectually dishonest. So him calling you out and saying you're being dishonest is truly ironic, considering the entire premise of what he wrote was basically under a kind of fake premise.
And also the text exchange that we had, and I'll be very honest with what I said. I said, Phil, I've hung out with you. You're kind of a fun hang. You tell jokes, you're a little bawdy, you curse, blah, blah, blah. This has to be performative, because there's no way that you could actually be offended by that segment. There's just no way. I said, the guy that I have hung out with, the guy I used to work with at the Post, there's no way that this is making you clutch your pearls. But then, at the end of the comment, he said, after all, Michael didn't shoot, he didn't shoot the gun. He was just in charge of the firing squad. Not noted in his response was that the same juvenile question was asked on his show, on his watch, after his content warning and his full encouragement. Yeah, it was.
But this is where you start to lose me. Michael, all right, his name is on the show, but he can't dive into our throats and stop us from saying things. We're all individuals here. Now, if Michael was offended by something that I said or Peter said, you probably would say it, but what control do you have over us, Michael? Do you have some sort of control that I'm not aware of?
I have no control.
But I'm not saying that disparagingly. I mean, what control does one co-host have over the other?
And we're all equal co-hosts. And I didn't name the show. The only control I have is what Don just said. If I am completely blown away by what was said, I'll say I don't agree with that. But I can't stop them from saying it.
But this idea that you have, it's on your watch as if you're my boss, if you're some sort of a foreman on the show. The name happens to be The Michael K. Show. But it's not like you decide when we can take off, that you decide what we say and what our opinions are. On your watch. What watch do you have?
It's amazing.
What preconceived notion do you have of the show that if for some reason Michael is in charge of us? And that is just as responsible as he is on his own words for something that we say. No, I'm Don LaGreca. He's Peter Rosenberg. We take full responsibility for what we say. Try and stop me, Michael. The only person that really could stop me is the person that controls my mic besides me, or my boss that could fire me. Now, you can be upset at something I say and go to management, but you don't have in the moment to demand anything out of me. You're not my boss. You're not Peter's boss.
It just in the original column, he calls us shills because we have ESPN guest on. Ridiculous.
He just doesn't even know how the business works. Why are we even having this conversation?
We have never been told to put a guest on. We put them on because they're available to us, and we think they're good guests, like Dan Orlovsky. Sorry, that's how we feel. And also, I get criticized, and I got criticized during the Yankee games on Yes for actually reading ads for gambling sites. Legal gambling sites. I'm not advocating black tar heroin. These are legal gambling sites.
Now, if a black tar heroin company came to the station, sorry, just kidding,
and it was legal,
then we do
Peter,
it.
You've been saying it. I know Michael fights it. Now, if there's somebody in the industry that pays attention to what he has to say, that's on them. But in the course of the conversations we've had about Phil over the last week, you've exposed him as bad at what he does. Like, what person would call us shills for having ESPN people on an ESPN radio program?
It's
Does he not understand the business? Does he not understand that the idea of ESPN radio originated from, hey, this could be a great way to promote what we do on television and have radio? That doesn't mean we're shills, and I'm sure the other radio station, which is owned by CBS, also has CBS people on it because that's just good business. So for him to think we're shills, he doesn't get the business that he covers.
And also,
he is bad at what he does.
What I said the other day about the Doc Rivers situation, boy, that would really not fall under the heading of ESPN shill. Just saying.
I just love it. I just
he won't
love
write
it.
about that.
No, he would never write about that.
And you're a Yankee shill, and you'll pick the Yankees to lose. It's so selective, Michael. It just, we'll agree to disagree that he has some sort of an import in this business. But the one thing I think we can all agree on, and anybody listening to this show can agree on, he's not very good at what he does because he doesn't seem to understand the business. For the things that he's critical of tells me he doesn't get it.
Well,
if I'm a shill for having Dan Orlovsky on because it's an ESPN guy, he doesn't get it.
And again, thank you for the apology that you got the quote miserably wrong, but you got something out of my tweet. I mean, I'm not that clever. I'm a pretty good writer, but I was not portraying myself as an innocent victim of a fabricated quote when that was hardly. I'm not an innocent victim. I came up with Would You Wednesday. I did. Is that worse than Wag Wednesday? Is that worse than that? Was that more offensive than putting porn stars on the air? I didn't see any kind of whole column about that for another station.
But you guys realize that this is the last thing I'm going to say on this. And by the way, we have Kendrick Perkins coming up at 5 o'clock. We're gonna get into the upstart Knicks. I'll call them upstart. 11 games over 500. But this is a guy, and I've said it many times. He does not get things. He is someone who writes regularly about how offended he is that any rap act who the NFL might want to use in the Super Bowl, he'll refer to them as N-wording and is somehow offended by them using the N-word. Black artists, it really bothers Phil. Yet I never see Phil ever writing anything about any actual perceived racism by white people. He just chooses these weird arguments, whether it's obsessing over the firing of an employee 7 years ago. He goes back to the same things over and over again. And Michael, frankly, you and I, more so than Don, have become targets he enjoys going after. So it won't be the last time. And the whole conversation, frankly, is dishonest because it's all about something else, an agenda, an axe that he has to grind with this show.
And this is my final thing on it. I even said in that text exchange that he mentioned in the story, it's been 2 or 3 years when I contact, because I used to go back and forth with him about his opinions about my work. He doesn't like my work for the most part. That's great. 33 years I'm going to be the Yankee announcer, 22 years doing the show. I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. The only reason I contacted about this was you made up a quote that I didn't say, and you put me in the crosshairs of somebody who might go off on me because you used that quote. And I don't want to be in that guy's crosshairs. I don't want to deal with him. But you did that. That's the only reason I brought it up. I will. If you say, hey, Michael K's terrible, I don't like the rhythm of his play-by-play calls, he screams too much, great. I don't care. I don't care what you think about my work. I do care when you say I say something that I did not say. All right. These are significant injury bits of news. The Ravens tight end, Mark Andrews, has been out for 2 months, guys. He is off the IR, and he is going to play for the Ravens. So that is a big, big outlet for Lamar Jackson. Over the middle, rush is coming. I mean, Mark Andrews is a stud. Now, on the other side, another significant injury is this. Joe Thuney, the all-pro guard of the Chiefs, he's out with a pec injury. He's out. He's not going to play. So now all of a sudden, a Ravens defense, which is very stout, has more of a clear path to Patrick Mahomes. And we saw, everybody, that Patrick Mahomes is not as great as he usually is when there's a defender in his face, like he was against Tampa Bay in that Super Bowl when their defense was all over him. And and this is not a knock on Mahomes, the greatest quarterbacks in the world, Tom Brady, the GOAT, Don, how did the Giants beat him? They had people in his face. No quarterback can perform with people in his face. Now you've taken the main protector away from Mahomes by taking Tooney out of the game.
No, we saw what the Buccaneers did to him in the Super Bowl a few years ago. You got to be able to protect. I know he's elusive, Michael, but you just can't have bodies in his face and hands in his face the whole time and expect to be able to execute all the plays. It's a major loss.
It's a huge loss. It really, really is. Now, on the other side, it seems like the Lions are fairly healthy. The Lions, of the 4 teams, have the worst defense. I think you'd all have to admit that.
Yes.
And the 49ers, they seem like they have everybody healthy. Deebo Samuels is practicing, limited, but he's 50-50. I mean, I've heard Stephen A. Smith say there's no way they beat them without Deebo Samuel. I think they could. I think it becomes more difficult, but we'll see. It looks like he is going to play, but he left that game right away when he injured his shoulder. So those are some significant things to look at when you're prognosticating these games right now. I'm looking forward to both of them. I think they're going to both be very, very interesting.
Listen, I'm a little nervous. Like I said, I'm going with both dogs, which makes you nervous, right? I mean, I think you guys would agree picking the dog is always sort of the more nerve-wracking, particularly in spots like this, particularly with 2 road teams. I just think that 4 number on the Chiefs, Don, it's a big number, man. I loved the Ravens when I thought they'd be 2.5. And I would have liked the Ravens a lot. But I don't know, man. It just seems like if I lose just not being willing to bet against the Chiefs, that's a loss I'm sort of willing to take.
I still haven't made a full decision, but for the first 4 days of this week, I was all in on the Chiefs. That was going to be my 3-point play. Now, this Thuney injury, I mean, gives me incredible pause. It is really big. And Mark Andrews coming back is really big. Do I think that Kansas City could still do it? I mean, I would absolutely be furious at myself if I take the Ravens and I pick against Patrick Mahomes. But, I mean, you got to do what you have to do. You have to prognosticate the game. You can't just pick Mahomes blindly, but, boy, it's tough.
Don, here's the one scary thing I'll say about that. You guys think I just make it up as I go, but I do have some certain rules. The scariest thing about me liking both Detroit and the Ravens is that when you consider the 4 different outcomes of a game, Team A by a low margin, Team A by a high margin, Team B low margin, Team B high margin. The only option, there's no version where Detroit blows out San Francisco.
No.
There's no version where Kansas City blows out Baltimore. That's the only thing that worries me. I could envision a world in which both the 49ers and the Ravens just absolutely lay it on their road opponents. That's scary.
Well, I'll just say this:
and by the way, it's supposed to be a little bit of a rain in Baltimore on Sunday.
I like that.
We always we determine how good teams are during the course of the year, and we've had it figured out. The Chiefs were not the same team. Have you changed your mind based on the 2 playoff games? That's what you have to ask yourself. Because they caught a break against Miami. The game was home, bitterly cold. Dolphins were beat up. That was not an impressive win by Kansas City. And the Bills were beat up, too. It was impressive because it was in Buffalo, for sure. But they kind of had the Bills' number in the postseason. Were those 2 games enough to change your mind? Because we were all convinced this is not the same Kansas City team. It's a better defensive team than an offensive team. They're dropping passes. Things don't look right. So that's what you have to ask yourself. Did you change has your mind been changed over the last 2 games?
I don't know if it's been changed, but it has been confirmed. My thinking is that there's such a thing as championship pedigree, that you rise up. If you've won championships before, you know how to win games. And they've got enough of those players still on that team to win games. But their receiving core, not what it once was. They played against a depleted Buffalo defense with injuries, and that, I think, turned Travis Kelce loose. It's going to be tough. And also, I think Isaiah Pacheco, from what I hear, is dealing with a little bit of a toe issue. So is he going to be as explosive? We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of variables in this. There really are.
Listen, don't take my advice gambling, because I've been awful pretty much since the kids have been born. Maybe there's something to that. I don't know. But I just think that sometimes you do get caught up on reputation, and you have to live in the now. And what I've seen overall from Kansas City this year is I've seen a team that's slipping just a bit. And when I watched Baltimore all year, that looks like a team that's on the rise. Now, there's X factors. There's injuries. Also, outside of last week, Lamar Jackson has not exactly lit up in the postseason. So is that something? Or is he just ready to pop? So these are the things you have to factor in. But always be careful as well. It's the Chiefs. Of course the Chiefs are good. The Chiefs always win. Well, the 49ers, they've look at all the Super Bowls they've been to. What has Detroit ever done? What do you feel right? Put all the other, because all the other stuff doesn't matter. I understand what you say, that there's a winning pedigree and all that, but still, when he was running for his life in that Super Bowl against Tampa, did winning pedigree have anything to do with it? When he lost the game at home against Cincinnati and Joe Burrow, who hadn't accomplished anything yet, did winning pedigree help him there? So I think sometimes when you're gambling, right or wrong, and again, take my advice with a grain of salt. I've been awful. You got to live in the now.
And you know what you're saying, I didn't actually exercise that in my own picks, and I think it hurt me all year. And Peter would warn me of it too, and I should have listened. I kept thinking, well, Bill Belichick. Yeah, Bill Belichick. I kept betting the Bill Belichick of the past rather than this team with Mac Jones. So, I mean, you do fall into that trap. But I think pedigree does matter in some cases.
Well, listen, it's something you have to put into the hopper. But ultimately, I think the things you need to really pay attention to is what is happening, this year, what's happening now with this team. And I don't want to take anything away from what Kansas City did in their 2 playoffs wins, but you can't ignore the fact that they caught some breaks. Buffalo was banged up, and that Miami team, they hadn't beat anybody good all year. It was 0 degrees outside. They didn't have anybody healthy on the team, and they were able to take advantage of that. Now you got a Baltimore team rested, playing at the best of their ability. But still, I mean, if you can't get mad for picking Kansas City. It's certainly the safe pick, right, Peter? I mean, I know you're not, but it's the safe pick. Patrick Mahomes getting points. Come on.
Now, if you take out the last game for the Ravens, the last game of the regular season where they phoned it in, they rested their regulars. The last 6 wins, 5 of the Ravens' last 6 wins have been by double digits, including last week. So, I mean, they're really, you read the football cognoscente, they are a complete team. They're a great team.
Yeah. And listen, I know it's Andy Reid, but John Harbaugh doesn't have to take a backseat to anybody.
I agree.
I will say I sort of just talked myself into feeling differently. By the way, Anthony, do you happen to have our Super Bowl picks from the beginning of the year? Maybe if you could find those.
No, wow. I have access to those.
Because I don't know, man. And do I really want to sit there? Here's what I have to think about. Do I really feel like rooting for the Chiefs? Don, I know that's stupid, but it's a fact.
You have the luxury. You won. You've clinched.
I know, but I want to end the year strong, and I don't want to lead.
Nobody's going to remember how you finished.
I don't want to lead people the wrong way.
Oh, here we go. Now you feel some sort of an obligation.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying here?
Would you guys like to know?
Yeah. Tell us when we come back.
Yeah, good
Let's
tease.
do that.
All right, and also we'll take your phone calls, but Peter has some things to tell you.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
This is the guy. Wait, this is the guy? You're thinking of getting your suit from this guy? For your wedding? Are you sure? we can do better. The Black Tux is here to help. Rent or buy, online or in a showroom, on your terms. Shipped to you wherever you are, guaranteed to fit. Because you deserve better. The Black Tux. Formal wear for your moment.
I have to find a babysitter.
I have a lot of questions.
When can they start?
Today? Now? Tomorrow?
How about Saturday and Sunday? I need any kind of day.
My wife and I haven't been out in a year.
We need a date night. No offense.
Help!
Can I check reviews?
Are they background checked?
Do I have to go pick them up?
Can they handle all this?
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
The next Powerball drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
You've heard our story before. In some ways, it's yours. It's the one about rolled up sleeves, measuring twice, cutting once, and building something you're proud to put your name behind. What are we building? A different kind of workwear, inspired by the values of those who put in the work. They're the reason we make boots that feel as good at 6 p.m. as they did at 6 a.m. They're the best you've ever worked in, or we'll take them back. Brunt, the tools you wear. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
Well, cherish your friends and loved ones. Let's roll, Daddy-O. Let's boogie woogie.
If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos lung cancer, choose the right law firm by asking, what are your highest verdicts? What experience do you have? How many lawyers are on staff? How many clients have you represented? Speak to Whites and Luxembourg at 800-LAW-6789 to get unmatched answers. It's the biggest financial decision of your life. Call 800-LAW-6789 or visit misowin.com.
You're not going to let a little weather slow you down. With a Ford SUV, you've got the capability to power through the elements. From the Edge with intelligent all-wheel drive, to the Explorer with a terrain management system, to the Bronco Sport with GOAT modes. Whatever the forecast brings, you'll have the confidence you need to take the season by storm. Right now, returning lessees can get the Ford Explorer for $329 a month for 24 months. Only at your local Ford stores.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. Innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show. The Brooklyn Nets have now lost 4 in a row, 7 of their last 8, and 17 of their last 21. They had a chance in the fourth after being down by as many as 17 in the third quarter. They tied things up at 94, and then Rudy Gobert gave the Timberwolves the lead here, playing the part of the oop off the alley from Karl Anthony Towns. The Nets did have a shot to tie it up again. Mikal Bridges gets fouled here by Jaden McDaniels. He will head to the line to shoot a pair. He missed a big free throw against the Knicks down the stretch Tuesday and misses the front end here. So now he has to purposely miss the second for the Nets to have a chance, which he does. But a lane violation is whistled on Brooklyn, and the Timberwolves escape and climb atop the Western Conference standings once again. Cam Thomas led the Nets with 25 points in the loss. He and Bridges combined for 17 of the Nets' 20 fourth quarter points. while Karl Anthony Towns poured in 10 of his game-high 27 in the fourth in helping his squad come away with the victory. The Nets get a chance to get back in the win column tomorrow night when they host the Houston Rockets at Barclays Center. Our coverage commences with the pregame show at 5:30, followed by opening tip a little after 6. It's the Nets and the Rockets tomorrow night. Coverage starting at 5:30 right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app.
Didn't we have a tease?
Oh, yeah. What did we pick for? Thank you, Don, for honoring the tease. Anthony, what were our preseason Super Bowl picks?
All right, so we have a couple things, actually. We have to give more congratulations to Peter. On the same day that you guys did your Super Bowl picks, you picked the division winners. Peter got 4 of them. Michael, you got 2. Don, you got 3. Peter, you had the Bills, Chiefs, Lions, and Niners. Don had the Chiefs, Lions, and Niners. Michael had the Bills and the Niners. Super Bowl predictions. Michael has the Bills over the Niners beating the Bills. So he can still get the Niners part of it. Don, you had the Bengals beating the Niners.
No, Bengals didn't even make the playoffs, Don.
Well, they lost Joe Burrow.
I'm just saying, you know.
Nice. You know what? I should have known that he was going to get hurt.
And
you should have.
Peter, you had the Eagles beating the Ravens.
Wow, that's not a good look.
So but that's not nothing, man. We've got a chance where we each could have gotten it half right.
Half right? What does that mean?
Well, it's better than not right.
It is not right. I'm the only one who has a chance to pick the Super Bowl right.
That's correct.
You know what?
What do you mean?
I'm the only one who said that the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl, so I'm still alive. You guys picked the teams that are alive, but you had them losing in the Super Bowl, so you're out.
But kind of. But what if you had the Niners over the Bills?
Yes.
So let's say the Lions go, but Peter and I at least have representation in the Super Bowl. Then don't we win?
You do not have representation in the Super Bowl.
No, we wouldn't.
You had Bengals Niners. Then you'd be out.
Right. So if the Lions go, you're out.
Well, that is true.
Michael can cling to his one win, is he could get the Super Bowl winner right.
That's not
that counts.
Why do you say cling like I'm some desperate animal?
But you also had the least amount of division winners.
I know. I'm a clown, okay?
No, but you're making fun of us. I think
I didn't make fun.
We're all finished over 50%. We're there's some value. We're doing okay, guys.
No, only Peter did okay. We're barely 500. We should be embarrassed with ourselves. Hey, ESPN New York presents an evening with Garrett Wilson, an intimate event in the Big Apple with the Jets' star wide receiver. For your chance to score passes to this exclusive event, including food and beverage, go to ESPNNewYork.com or find the contest page on the ESPN New York app and submit your entry. An evening with Garrett Wilson. This is brought to you by Corona and Sansone Auto Mall. All right, let's go to Ryan in the car. Rai.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What's up?
Peter, I just wanted to see if I could swing you back to the Ravens. I'm actually pulling for the Chiefs, but I don't know that they'll actually just be able to do whatever they want with the interior line like they've been able to the last 2 weeks. I mean, Matabike is a beast, and then you got Roquan Smith covering sideline to sideline. So I don't know that the run game will be there, even if Pacheco is 100% healthy.
I know. Not to mention, when you just think about, like, are the Chiefs going to have an answer, guys, for Lamar deciding to take off on his own? The Chiefs' defense solid.
Well, they did a decent job on Allen. It's kind of the same thing, isn't it? Kind of.
Allen is a great scrambler, but you don't get the same amount of designed runs. You know, whereas, I don't know, Lamar has developed this element to his game. Have you guys noticed his level of pocket confidence, how long he can sit there before he decides to take off? You have that ability plus the designed run and the option. There's just so much to deal with him.
Let's go to JJ in North Carolina.
Hey, boys. How are we doing?
What's up?
I find it very fascinating that Peter is, perceived as the low sports knowledge of the show, and he is actually the best picker of the show. And it's funny because I told you guys about this. I'm doing the same kind of pick segment with some of my friends and their dads and whatnot. And I said I was, leading the pack. I was doing really good. And since then, my dad, funny enough, has taken off, and now he's 39, 19, and 2 overall the entire year, which is
against the spread?
Outstanding. Against the spread.
Wow. Maybe he should be our guest picker next year.
Yeah, right. He loves the show too.
Hey, Dad.
I found it funny that Fortenbaugh kind of went against, of course, what Peter believes and what I believe as well. I don't think the Niners are. I mean, they're a really good team, but he's like putting so much on the fact that they're outdoors. You know, Goff is not great outdoors. It's what is it going to be, like 70 degrees and sunny?
I think kickoff is what time? 3:30. It's going to be like in the high mid 50s by the bulk of the game. Weather's not going to be an issue.
Right. So I think they're just a more, especially if they don't have Debo, they run the ball really good. They have a great offensive line. Their defense is not as good, but I not only to cover, but I think they can outright win. And especially if it's 7.5. 7.5 is big. But
well, I don't care what you think. What does your dad think?
And
yeah, get your dad on the phone.
He did the lines plus 7-2 as his 2-pointer.
Interesting.
And I think he went with the Ravens 3.5 as his 3. But anyways, I just wanted to say you guys are the best, and don't listen to what this Mushnick clown says. It's disgusting that we even have to have this conversation because he's such a nozzle and just a bad human being to begin with. He doesn't really. I mean, Michael, I know you like to respect other journalists, but you don't have to be shy about this guy.
He continues to respect other journalists, just not Phil, because he's not a journalist.
Well, I love what you just said.
Well, I mean, he's not investigating.
No, he's not doing that.
The thing with Phil is he always talks about Roger Goodell. Why wouldn't Roger Goodell have a rapper sing those words? You know, why don't you ask Roger Goodell that? I don't know if he's put in for Roger Goodell, but all these questions that you have, just call and ask those people. What would they say to you? I wonder if they would ask.
No, wouldn't it matter? He probably misquote him anyway.
No, that's just unfair. Let's go to Doug.
No, why is it unfair?
Doug in Orange County.
It's fair. It's completely fair.
Doug in Orange County.
Michael, how are you? It's good to be on your show.
Thank you, Doug. How you doing?
I'm well. I'm angry.
What's up?
Yeah,
What's got you goat?
The quote unquote journalist Mushnick. It reminds me of a story you told X amount of years ago about when you were a young Michael Kay, and some kid in your neighborhood called you a disparaging name, and your father was like, "What did he say to you?"
Wow, you remember that?
That's a great memory.
That's amazing, Doug.
That's not one of Michael's stories that he gives a lot. I mean, it might have been 5 years since the last time we said that.
It was the pandemic, and the early days of the pandemic. And you know what? I'm thinking, what would your dad say now? Go after this guy. Don't let him dictate the flow of this. You take it to him.
Did this call it? What's your name?
Share to this guy.
This is Doug.
Weaponize your words. You say words are weapons or words are tools or whatever. Take it to this guy. He's a piece of trash.
By the way, Doug.
Yes, sir.
I love you. You're the point god.
Wow.
You literally took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I don't want to say this on the air because I probably should say it to Michael off the air, but I am going to say it on the air. My only problem with our last segment, because I love stuff like this, I'm here for it. Like, Michael, you admire Howard so much.
Yes. Howard Stern he's talking about.
Yeah. The Peter Rosenberg talking about Howard Stern. Right. If Howard has something similar like that, he doesn't spend 10 minutes explaining how it's not true and defending himself. Like, you don't need to be on the defensive. Tear this man to the ground. He cannot do anything more to you than he already does. He already misquotes you, shows disrespect for your show, for your colleagues, yet you still try to play this like semi-high ground and just defend yourself. In my opinion, Don and I have not discussed this. Don, I'll ask you. If this comes up, I think the only thing we should be doing is burying this dude, not explaining it. There's no explanation necessary, and he won't ever believe it. You're acting as if he's a reasonable guy, where if you give the explanation, he'll go, you know what? I concede, Michael. You make a great point. That's not going to happen. He's just going to rip you the next time he gets the chance. So if we're going to talk about him, back to my drop from the other day, I'm stepping on his throat.
Well, let me explain since you brought it up. I mean, you want to have a conversation?
Sure, why not?
All right, because I know Phil, okay? He's a vindictive dude. And you don't have to deal with it. So all baseball season on Fridays and Sundays, I have to open up the paper and get ripped for how terrible I am because I'm almost guaranteeing that after this back and forth that we had over the weekend. It's not pleasant. I agree with you, Don. I don't think it has any effect on my career. I don't know how much longer a career I could have, but it's not pleasant to read all the time.
Why do you give him power? Why do you give him power?
I don't give him power. He's in the New York Post.
But that doesn't. What does that mean? Most people, I'm being honest. This is not a rip. It's just it's the truth. Half our audience has no idea who you're talking about. The other half can't stand them. So I really don't know why you worry about it. If some random person on the street said you're awful, Michael, you'd walk down the street. It's the same thing. Stop giving this guy power.
But you know me.
He's in a newspaper that people don't read, and he's a person that is not respected in the business. We just went chapter and verse. He has no idea how the business even works. Why anybody would even read to get information from him is moronic to me. He has no idea about the business that he's covering.
You just said something that's not true about me, though. So I could be walking in the concourse of Madison Square Garden with you guys, and 99 people in a row say, wow, you guys are great. I love your show. I love it. One person would say, I think you're a hack. Am I not going to think about that the whole night?
Maybe.
But that's how I am. That's how I'm wired.
But you're not going to chase the guy down and try to convince him otherwise. And use time on our radio show to like pillow fight him because you're so afraid that he's going to write something bad about you.
No, I'm not afraid. I know he will.
But that's the thing. He's going to anyway. What I'm saying is, I guarantee everyone listening in their car right now is nodding their head. I guarantee it. I know our people. If we're going to waste our valuable airtime talking about this yo-yo, it should not be, as Don said, pillow fighting and explaining. If we're going to get into it, let's take the gloves off, go in the street and fight. There's the halfway explanation. It's bum chuck. He's going to come after you this baseball season, no matter what you do. And let's at least entertain our audience by crushing the guy.
Well, but Peter, you've worked with me 8 years now. That's not. I'm not that sort of whipper. I don't do that. I try to make reasoned responses about things, about everything, not just about him.
Well, and that's an admirable trait that should be saved for admirable people. That he does not deserve
or
that.
Just
it's
let it
not
go.
Going to be effective. Yeah, or we could never mention it, but if we're going to do it...
Because we're giving him power, we're giving him airtime, we're creating someone that in a lot of people's minds didn't even exist a week ago. Well, you're playing right into his hands. This was what he wants. He's an irrelevant man now being made relevant. Because that's what talentless people do. They find buttons to push to get in the chance to get involved in things that they don't belong to be in. They get their name mentioned on shows that would never give them the time of day. It doesn't matter if they're right or wrong because they're hacks. But now they're being talked about and they're given life. Because people that are nobodies, even if they're being talked about illy, it's still being talked about. You're breathing life into somebody that literally, Michael, has been dead for 15 years as far as the business
I don't deserve the right to defend myself that I didn't say something that was in the newspaper. And for you to say that nobody reads newspapers, you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. Now, is it the same level that it used to be? No, but people read newspapers.
Our audience is not reading Phil Mushnick 2 days a week to find out what they should think about sports radio, but they are listening to our show. So we're breathing life into somebody that didn't exist in their eyes. You have the right to defend them, then pulverize them, or otherwise just walk away. That's Peter's point. Break him down. Destroy him. He's intellectually unconscious. He's a piece of human trash. He doesn't really deserve to be even existing. He doesn't have any kind of acumen for the job that he does, and yet we're spending 45 minutes talking about this yo-yo and breathing life into a career that's been dead for 15 years.
Don, why don't you tell us about Mazda?
I don't have any read for Mazda. So I'm not going to do a read for Mazda.
It says Mazda and traffic
Understood.
for Don.
But I don't have anything. Mazda, great product, 2024.
You know what? Let me
a lot of great
do
things
my
go
read,
over there.
all right?
Route 17 North.
No,
buy Mazda.
When I'm getting ready for game...
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
How do I know I have mold?
Why do water pipes break?
Home questions don't have to keep you up at night.
Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project, from a small fix to a big remodel. See transparent prices, read verified reviews, and book with just a tap. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
Listen, we get that ordering a suit online can seem a little risky. That's why we have a home try-on program. Go to thebblacktux.com/try. With so many good options, it might be hard to choose. We'll ship your selection to you to try out for 48 hours on us. When it arrives, put it on and make sure every detail's perfect. Once your 2 days are up, pack it back in the box, attach the free shipping label, and send it back to us. And when you're ready to rent for real, just head back to the Black Tux and make your order official.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
TV70 for $569 per month. Exclusively at your Tri-State Genesis retailers.
Totally. But keep swiping. This is so much fun.
This makes it so easy.
Yes, that was a good one.
Let's go.
Play your favorite slots today and you can win the next big jackpot. Sign up now and we'll match your first deposit up to $1,000 in casino bonus funds only at GoldenNuggetCasino.com.
It's All-Star season in Brooklyn, and we got all the stars. And the stars are out. We got Mitchell, Wemby, and KD. Kevin Durant is smoking hot. We got Embiid, Steph, and Tatum. Jason Tatum is going off. Yes, we got an all-star lineup. Nets versus Rockets. Tomorrow at 5:30 on Yes and the Yes app.
Wounded Warrior Project has been with me every step of my journey.
Aaron, how you doing, bud?
With experiences that help me realize that I'm not alone.
And specialized programs that give me the tools to train my body and mind.
Now, it's possible for me to get back out there.
To get out of my comfort zone and try new things.
To build and be part of a community that supports other warriors.
It's possible to get the help I need for me and my family.
I got my confidence back. I'm setting goals, and I'm achieving them.
It's possible to feel understood. Whether it's day one or 20 years down the road, they've got your back.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, Wounded Warrior Project is adapting to meet them.
Because when we pull together,
It's possible to go further than you ever imagined.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league.
Oh my, look at this.
Global talent, local passion, all with a British twist.
I know that you know what I mean when it comes to unleashing the beast.
Witness unbeatable moments every weekend from September to May. The British Basketball League.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Phone calls. Let's go to Rachel in Westchester. Rachel.
Hi, I just wanted to thank you guys. I'm listening to you because of my boyfriend. He listens to you throughout the pandemic, and his name's Josh, and I just wanted to thank you guys for being the show and what you guys make it. And thank you guys so much.
Oh, that's really nice.
Very nice.
Thank you very much,
That's very
Rachel.
nice.
Thank you, Josh, for listening. Let's go to Jonathan in L.A.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, guys. 2 points. First thing is, just because of this hack, hopefully you guys don't take off the What's Your Wednesdays.
No,
I
we're going to double
love
down.
it. Yes. So that everyone loves that. So please, hopefully, because of that. But my thing is regarding your annual the pick segment. Okay, so I guess the loser's gonna grow the Pusick. But I was listening to the morning show. The loser's gonna actually have to pose like naked on a big on a poster on the side of a freeway. I think you guys should step it up a notch.
Well, Jonathan, you're right in Don's wheelhouse. He has always felt that the punishment should be more punitive.
Yes.
But you know what? When Rick did the show with Alan Hahn, the bet was like getting a tattoo of the show's logo. And I think that Hahn lost.
Yeah.
So he has a logo of a show that doesn't exist anymore.
That's right.
I'm sorry, I'm not going there. I don't care.
No, but at least that's something, right? And here, 2 things. Yes, they've come up with a better punishment. It's also not going to happen. Our company's going to allow somebody to be naked on a billboard? I don't think so.
And also, only one guy is afraid of losing. I mean, Rick would love to be naked on a billboard with his body.
He might get a chance to do that and get paid to do it.
Dave, that's a different story. So, I don't. How's their betting going, Anthony? Who's winning?
I think Dave is winning.
Well, thank God for him.
Good Lord, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Chaz in New Jersey. Chazo.
Hey, fellas, what's going on?
How you doing,
How
man?
we doing? I'm all right.
Good.
This is for Peter, but I guess it really applies to Don and Michael. Since he won the picks, I feel like you guys until the next season should be referring to him as Chosenberg.
You know, I don't have a problem with that.
Can I just call him Peter?
No, Chosenberg works for me, Chaz.
At least during the pick segment.
Okay,
because he
really
has
appreciate
chosen
that.
better than us.
During the okay.
And when it comes to picks, he is the chosen one of us.
That's right. And I appreciate it's a nickname I was given many years ago by the great Queens artist Homeboy Sandman. There's actually a wonderful song on streaming services called 72 Bars for Chosenberg that you could find.
So he
But it's
actually
never
did
been
call
more-
you this?
Yes, but it's never been more apropos than right now after this year's.
So I think it should be fonted when we do the picks next year, and then
maybe Jarv could put Chosenberg there.
Yeah, I'm all for that. He deserves it.
You know what? I really, really appreciate that. I do take a lot of pride in back-to-back wins, so thank you.
Let's go to Lewis in the Bronx. Lewis.
Yeah, hello, guys.
Hello.
Yeah, I just want to say, Michael, Don, and Pete, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Louis.
Thank you for having me on. I just wanted to say that back then when, I'm 68 years old. So years ago when people, used to read the newspaper, like this guy, Phil Mushnick, he was like he was an item. I look forward to, like reading this stuff in the newspapers, but I don't know any longer, because I don't even read the newspaper. I'm into the internet. I watch a lot of television and everything, so I don't even know if he's an item anymore. But back then, he sort of had a name for himself. But,
well, I'll tell you this, Louis, and we thank you for the phone call. People do read newspapers. They don't read them the way they used to. They don't get ink on their hands. I don't think people use a physical newspaper nearly as much as they used to. But the New York Times is thriving online. Many people, millions of people around the world read the New York Times.
I think the Post
and
does
the
very
Post
well
does
online,
very
too.
well online, too. So I'm sorry, you can't tell me that newspapers are not read. They might not be read as paper, but they are read online. They just are.
But I don't know if, and this is going back to a conversation from last week, whether they have the influence that they used to have.
Well, that I don't know.
And all I can go by, any of these people, all right? Whenever I get written about eggs, I get nothing. If the morning show mentions me, if the other radio station mentions me, if somebody drops my name someplace, I'll get inundated with tweets. Hey, did you hear what so-and-so said about you? And all I know, our audience, at least the ones on social media, I think, Peter, you'll agree, will never call attention to anything that's ever written about me.
Let's go to Ben in Brooklyn.
Hello, guys. I hope you enjoy the playoff games this week. It's certainly something to look forward to.
Yes.
But leading up to the playoff games, especially on the Sunday shows, there's going to be all the shows are going to be approaching it from the gambling perspective, and that's one of the things that Mushnick does. At least he writes about it. I don't think he does a good enough job about it because he doesn't talk about the losses that people actually incur. So he does serve a purpose. Michael, I thought you handled it beautifully. You're obviously very successful in your field, and I thought you really handled it very nicely and smartly. How you disagreed with him, but you didn't pounce on him. I thought that was smart because in the business, everybody's got something to say, and a lot of it has to do with what other announcers and to say, etc. And one last thing, if I may. A person that's real sorely missed from your show is Steve Young. Now, if Steve Young were to do a commercial about gambling, I would lose complete respect for him, and I wouldn't expect him to do it. But you look at like a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's out there doing these these commercials. And I kind of lose respect for him because the man has got 7 kids. Would he teach his children to gamble?
But Ben, this is kind of the pushback I have with Phil when he writes, that gambling is legal. In the New York Post, if you read the Post today, there are pages and pages on making picks. They have a consortium of writers who make picks. They have a grid to show you how they're doing on picks. Listen, if you have a problem with gambling, it's awful. It's hideous.
Of course.
But you can't protect everybody against themselves. People have to protect themselves.
I had this conversation when we were first talking about making it legal. Why is sports considered the evil when we've had lottery in this country for how many years? Churches have bingo. There's 50-50s at every charity. They're all forms of gambling. And believe me, Michael, if you've got a problem, you're probably spending way more money on Pick 6 tickets than you really should be. All right? So a problem is a problem. So why is sports gambling so evil, but yet all these other forms of gambling, they're okay? So why is it singled out all the time? You're going to lose respect for Steve Young. If somebody gives up Steve Young a ton of money to advertise something that's legal, I mean, it's up to him whether he wants to do it or not. But I'm not going to frown down on Jamie Foxx or Wayne Gretzky or the Mannings or the Mannings. I'm not going to frown down on them. It's a legal product. It is.
Nobody is forcing anybody to gamble. You're just saying these are gambling sites where you could gamble. It doesn't mean that you're trying to hoodwink them into do it. People make choices.
And real quick, I would ask someone like Ben. And I appreciate the call, but I would ask him, do you drink at all? Do you drink wine in front of your children? Do you come down on everyone who's ever done a beer commercial? I mean, there are a lot of legal products that are really dangerous for people with addictive personalities. And if we decide morally as a society, to be involved in any of these things is completely wrong, okay, let me know. But until then, for better or for worse, these are options people have and choices people make. And everyone who's a part of being a part of the advertisement is now morally reprehensible.
Well, this is
I don't buy it.
Peter, this is an unfortunate segue, but Football Fridays on 98.7 ESPN brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
My favorite babysitter is Annalisa. She's pretty good. She's like my grandma. She says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" She plays with me. She helps you feel better. Bugs and insects are healthy for you. Amelia took us to the beach. She teaches me some gymnastics. We like color. We draw flowers, and then we go skateboarding.
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
Listen, we get that ordering a suit online can seem a little risky. That's why we have a home try-on program. Go to theblacktux.com/try. With so many good options, it might be hard to choose. We'll ship your selection to you to try out for 48 hours on us. When it arrives, put it on and make sure every detail's perfect. Once your 2 days are up, pack it back in the box, attach the free shipping label, and send it back to us. And when you're ready to rent for real, just head back to the Black Tux and make your order official.
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
How do I know I have mold?
What do water pipes break?
Home questions don't have to keep you up at night. Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project, from a small fix to a big remodel. See transparent prices, read verified reviews, and book with just a tap. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
Guys, let's be honest. Buying pants sucks. It should not be this difficult. I'm looking for that one pair of pants that does everything. These just came in. They're the only pant from Fabletics Men. 4-way stretch, done. All-way stretch, you're going to feel the difference. The best thing about the only pant, honestly, everything. You almost forget about the deal that you're getting. Same premium quality as Lululemon, but at a third of the price.
The next Mega Millions drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org.
If you watch Yes Network on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download the app to stream the Nets and experience the game in a whole new way. With a live stat overlay to track your favorite players. Free-to-play gaming with big cash prizes. And earn and redeem rewards for gift cards and gear. So remember, if you get Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download now.
The Library of Congress invites you to visit the revamped Veterans History Project website, where first-hand accounts shared by U.S. military veterans are accessible to the public. Performing a search of the collection is easy. First, go to loc.gov/vets. Click Explore the Collections. Scroll down to Search the VHP Collections and click. Make sure you're searching this collection, and with simple keywords, you can find what you're looking for. Visit loc.gov/vets today.
When we talk about leaving a legacy behind, we mean making lasting change in the futures of all New Yorkers, in the fabric of the places we love, through the values we hold dear. The New York Community Trust makes it possible to champion the causes that you care about, with powerful ways for everyone to give. Visit thetrust.nyc.
Smith, the Knicks with a big win last night. Jalen Brunson did not get a starting nod in the All-Star game, and he got the writers' vote the same as Dame Lillard, and he got the players' vote same as Dame Lillard, and the tiebreaker with Dame Lillard getting the start was he had much more of the fans' vote, and Jalen Brunson didn't. So let's bring in Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick, it's Michael, Don, and Peter. How you doing?
What's going on, fellas? Happy New Year.
Same to you. I'll tell you why. You hit something on the nose, and we talked about this yesterday. The Knick organization does not have their GM talk. It's impossible to get players on the air. It's impossible to get a coach on the air. They just want everything on the court to speak for themselves. But we brought this up yesterday, Kendrick. The New York Yankees put Garrett Cole on the air. If you ask for any of their players, they'll try to make it happen. The Knicks just don't make it happen. Part of it's their fault for not advertising their players.
Absolutely, and it's right there in front of you, right? Like, and I take it like as if someone is, searching, ready for their dream home. Okay, right? Would you rather go buy it? And get into the home and figure out that you don't like certain things about it? Or would you rather go build your home? That way the baseboards is right, the ceilings are the right height. And when I think about the New York Knicks, they keep like the narrative out there is that they're going to be on a buyer's market in 2029 for a Giannis or a superstar, whatever the case may be, when the fact of the matter is they have a young superstar that's being built right now in front of their eyes that's in their organization in Jalen Brunson. And I get it, right? Like, his game may not be full of highlights and electrified dunks and breaking ankles and things to that nature. But Jalen Brunson, when he compares and he go against the best of the best, his number stacks up with the best of them. And the season that he is having right now listen, I respect Damian Lillard, but he's not having a better season than Jalen Brunson. And the Knicks, the organization, did a poor job of promoting and valuing Jalen Brunson so that he could make sure that he was get what he deserved. And that's an all-star starter.
And the other thing, too, he's so workmanlike. He's like perfect for New York. I know New York always comes across as a cosmopolitan town, but the fans always love the lunch pail guys, and that's exactly who he is.
Absolutely. Blue collar, roll his sleeves up, and go get it in the trenches, right? Big body Brunson. Not afraid of contact, not afraid to get a busted lip, a bloody nose, and he's going to get the job done. No matter how it looks, it gets done.
Now, you were on with us, I believe it was last week, and you said you could see the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Well, in January, Kendrick, they beat the Timberwolves. They embarrassed the Sixers. That was in Philly. And they embarrassed the defending champion Nuggets. And, I said at the beginning of the show, I wonder if you agree with me, tell me a team that they can't beat. I mean, over a 7-game set, maybe that's a different story. But in any given day, I think this Knicks team could beat anybody.
You know what? And I'm right there with you. I still give the slight edge to the Boston Celtics just by a tad. It's not far. But when it comes down to Philly and the Bucks, I feel like it's night and day when you talk about what happened since January 1st when they traded and got OG Anunoby, right? Think about this for a second. The most important position in the game today is the wing position. And guess what? When the Knicks traded for OG, they filled that void. It's a reason why teams were willing to give up entire packages to get him. It's a reason why he was one of the most attractive, talked about people in Toronto for a team getting, because they know, like, he is the missing piece of what he provides for a wing. Like, you're talking about a guy who truly could guard a 1 through 5. You're talking about a guy that consistently could space the floor and knock down threes. You're talking about a player that slashes and cuts and gets to the basket like no other. He's strong as hell. He's athletic. That's all the Knicks were missing. And so when I think about where they at right now, do you realize this? Since January 1st, they have held since they acquired OG, this team has held every single team under 100 points. How crazy is that in the month of January? Under 100 points in today's game. Like, I'm seeing it all over again. And you see the smile on Tom Thibodeau's face because he knows. He hasn't seen a defense like that since he coached me in Boston.
Would you ride with this team, or would you still like to make a deal?
I'll leave it as put. You know why? Because I feel like this. The kid McBride, I feel like people gonna know his name in the postseason, right? When he come in off the bench, I feel like Josh Hart is gonna elevate his game enough, and I feel like the Knicks have enough. I would not go out there and do anything like it's not broken. Why fix it? And when you look across the league, like we said, right now this team could compete with anybody. And don't come give me this nonsense like my brother Stephen A. did today. Oh, Tom Thibodeau's going to run him in the ground. No. Tom Thibodeau got that name because he was practicing too much. Not because of the minutes being played, but because he was practicing plus the minutes. He's cut back on this. Tom Thibodeau has changed. And so when I look at the Knicks, I'm like, the one thing I could say about this team that I give them the edge over Philly and Giannis in the Bucks is that this team has an identity already, and guess what? It's going to continue to get better.
How about getting? I'm sorry, Peter. You go.
Okay, real quick. You mentioned Tibbs, and obviously, all due respect to Stephen A., you would certainly know more about the way Tibbs does things. In your experience with him in Boston, what was he like in terms of the way he pushed players, and how did you react to it as a player?
Well, let me tell you something. When it comes to a defensive-minded coach, is like a guy that knows his stuff from start to finish defensively, who knows personnel, who knows how to guard it. Is no one in the league like Tom Thibodeau. And I say that seriously. Tom Thibodeau, the hours that he puts in behind the scenes is crazy. I'm talking about 5 in the morning to 9 at night, to the point we used to tease him and say, man, Tibbs, leave the office, man. Go on a date or something, man. Go have a life. We had to tell him, go have a life. Like, me and Tibbs asked, look, if y'all ever get a chance to speak to Tibbs, Tibbs and I used to watch my defensive clips one-on-one in his office on a VCR. I didn't even know those things still existed back in 2009.
So you liked him as a coach?
I do, because he's not going to fake it. He is who he is, right? He is what New York embraced, a hard worker, blue-collar. Let's get it, those shortcuts. Let's go earn everything we do. We go punch in the clock daily, and that's who he is. It's no fakeness about him. And I believe when we saw those instances, right, well, back, last year a lot, where it seemed like Julius Randle and Tom Thibodeau, wasn't on the same page when Tibbs would bitch Julius in the fourth. You ever seen Julius always responded back? You know why? Because the level of respect that he has for Tibbs.
Now, KP, you also obviously had a lot of experience with Doc Rivers, who's in the news this week, and we'll find out if and when he becomes the head coach in Milwaukee. Do you think that was a good choice? Is Doc Rivers a difference maker that can take Milwaukee to a championship level that they weren't at with Griffin?
I think it was a perfect marriage, and I think shout out to the front office of the Milwaukee Bucks because they did something that a lot of organizations are scared to do. At the time they fired Adrian Griffin, they were 30-13, right? And they knew that they were trending still in the wrong direction of what their goal is, and they stopped the bleeding. No matter what nobody else said, they stopped the bleeding. I strongly believe it's a perfect marriage, right, with Doc and this team in the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, them hiring Doc Rivers, is that going to change and take them over the top to where they need to go? Absolutely not, because the next step is that they have to have a personnel change. They're too slow at the wing position. And if they don't get stronger in that area, meaning get somebody that's going to be an OG, and you're not going to find him because he's off the market, but you got to find someone close to it that's going to bring that defensive tenacity, the activity, the athleticism, then, I mean, you know, the Milwaukee Bucks could get sent home early.
Kendrick Perkins is our guest. Before we let you go, would you be on board with the Knicks making a smaller deal, like getting a Bruce Brown, getting a Kyle Lowry, just to, you know, build up the bench, and with Bruce Brown even making the defense better?
Bruce Brown, yes. Depending on who they have to give up. Right. If you gotta throw in a Josh Hart, I'm not really rolling with that. But if you gotta maybe throw in a Quentin Grimes and something else that's like not, you know what I'm saying, like not gonna be too much, okay, I could deal with that. But if you gotta let go of Josh Hart, no, I'm not feeling that. Because just think, Josh Hart, Bruce Brown, and OG on the same team. Can you imagine?
That's shutdown.
The perimeter. Oh God, it will be. Now you get a Bruce Brown. Now we revisit this interview after that and ask me my opinion about the Knicks versus the Celtics. There.
Good stuff, Kendrick. Have a great weekend. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
You too. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Kendrick Perkins. So he is certainly bullish on the Knicks, and he was last week too. And what a run it's been for the Knicks. I mean, they embarrassed the champions yesterday. They're 11-2 since getting OG Anunoby. They're a special team right now. They're a special team, and I mean, I don't think they're. If you look at it, Peter and Don, and all of our listeners, I don't look at this 13-game stretch where they're playing out of their mind. That's what gives me good feelings about them. They're not going. They're not out of control. They're not playing so much different than the back of their card. They are just playing together. Yep. They have an idea. They have a chemistry. They run an offense. They play better defense than most NBA teams. This is who they are. It's not like they're playing out of their mind.
It's still important to try to get that 4 seed, which I think they definitely can do. And keep it going and try to stay healthy. And it's not like they haven't faced adversity. They have. They're doing everything. They're checking every box off you can ask for. They really have. Now, they can't answer the true questions till you get to the postseason. But right now, you got to just love what you see.
Let's go all the way to India. How about that, Peter? India. Haas in India. What's up, Haas?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I have jet lag, and I just woke up and put on the app. And I thought I'd call it my favorite show.
That's awesome.
Nice.
What are you doing in India?
I'm here for work.
Wow. That's some trip.
So today we're at a little villa. They told me to watch out for leopards, so I'm staying inside.
Good move. Smart play.
No, I wouldn't mess.
Yeah, that's it. But, I love what you guys were saying about the Knicks. I really think this team's special just because I think chemistry is underrated a lot in basketball. We got all these, 3 superstar teams, and, we forgot that it's still a team sport, and sometimes team sports need teamwork.
And you know what? They have that, and we thank you for the phone call. Stay safe, but they all like each other. Like Brunson dunked the ball yesterday. they made fun of him. I mean, this is the star of the team, and they made fun of him. And they make fun of Hart, and they make fun of DiVincenzo. Maybe it's a Villanova thing, but they've got a pretty good vibe going. Carl in Queens. Carl.
Hey, guys, I'm on. Great. Can I join, please?
Oh, yes, you may.
Let's go. Good afternoon. Good evening. I just wanted to talk about my Knicks. Peter, you could join too. Please jump on the bandwagon. I'm so here for this, guys. I've been watching this team for 25 years of my life. I'm a young man. Please, you could remind me. But I think that people need to be reminded. I hope a message was sent to the league that if you come to the Garden and you are not ready to play, we will own you and we will annihilate you. Warm up the jet at halftime because you will be ready to go home. And you can cut me off, Mike, if you want after this. I have so many more points. I'm ready, but I just want to compliment Sims because he played a man's game against Jokic, and I seriously think he deserves so much credit for how much work he put in last night against that. The MVP of the league, defending champ, by the way.
And you also have to give, I agree with you, Carl, but you also have to give some credit to Precious Achiuwa, who also played very, very well. Listen, they're missing their two top centers. And they went up against Jokic, the two-time MVP and a world champion. And it's not like they shut him down. He had 31 points, but he didn't change the game for Denver, and that was important. I think Sims might be, Peter's going to jump me, he might be the best-looking Knick. Very handsome guy.
Well, I'm not here to jump you for it. I'd have to analyze. I haven't really thought about it.
Because we don't think about it. I mean, it's not something
he's
that Peter and I
He's a handsome young man. He really is.
You know, I got to think. I mean, there's not a standout looker on the Knicks to me.
Well,
I mean, again,
Josh Hart's
your
handsome.
point, Josh Hart?
Josh Hart's very handsome.
Yeah, let me check Josh Hart. Again, Don, it's hard for me because it's not the first thing I think about when I'm watching the game.
The first thing I think of, I take everything in, Peter. I take everything in.
You're such a pro.
I really am. Let's go to Sean in California. Sean.
Gentlemen, it's an honor and a privilege for you to take my call. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to point out, I've been listening, and I noticed that lately they've been including the live reads on the podcast. And, Mike, I just wanted to point out, you say in one of the commercials that you refuse to settle, and neither should you.
Right.
And it just doesn't make any sense to me because you're saying that it's not the settling that they should agree with, it's the refusing. So it should be refusing to settle, and so should you.
Oh, you know what? You might. I'm gonna talk to our friends at Bigelow and see if that exactly makes it. But I think everybody knows what I'm saying. I refuse to settle, and neither should you refuse to settle.
I wouldn't know. Don't ask me.
No, that's why I didn't. Have you taken a Jericho Sims look, Peter?
No, I have not looked at Jericho Sims yet. Just as I tried to look up the handsomeness of these men, my hotel internet conked, so I got to grab it.
Did you at least enjoy the picture that I sent you earlier? I thought that would make your day.
Sure. I can't go as far as saying it made my day. I generally know now when I receive a text from you, there's a 90% chance it's going to be similar to the content you sent earlier.
And it's nothing. It's nothing profane.
No, Josh Hart's a pretty good-looking kid.
Very.
Sure.
Very. Now take a gander at Jericho Sims. We'll get back to you. Football, big football Friday, so definitely want to deal with that, and we'll make our picks in the 5:45 slot. But first, I want to tell you, business leaders.
Hey, Joe. 5 old diesel, fountain pop, lunch. Hey, buddy, you all right? Stupid old work boots, clunky as bricks. You ought to get you some Brunt boots. Comfortable, lightweight, durable, and waterproof. You want to try them? They're just comfortable sneakers. Yeah, they are. I'll give them back. Hey! Who stole your boots?
Try any of Brunt's gear on the job for 30 days risk-free.
Guys, let's be honest. Buying pants sucks. It should not be this difficult. I'm looking for that one pair of pants that does everything. These just came in. They're the only pant from Fabletics Men. 4-way stretch, done. All-way stretch, you're going to feel the difference. The best thing about the only pant, honestly, everything. You almost forget about the deal that you're getting. Same premium quality as Lululemon, but at a third of the price.
Hey. Hey. Rental? Yep. You? Yeah. You know your shoe's untied.
Oh. Don't let a boxy suit ruin your night. Read from theblacktux.com.
I have to find a babysitter.
I have a lot of questions.
When can they start?
Today? Now? Tomorrow?
How about Saturday and Sunday? I need any kind of day.
My wife and I haven't been out in a year.
We need a date night. No offense. Help!
Can I check reviews?
Are they background checked?
Do I have to go pick them up?
Can they handle all this?
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
You done yet? It's 2 a.m. Why are you still scrolling through videos? You're not paying me overtime here. If you really want to see something new, why not change those shades that have been broken for the past 2 years? Let's tap the Thumbtack app, and in a matter of seconds, we'll find a pro to install new shades.
Okay.
With Thumbtack, you can easily find top-rated professionals for every home project.
Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League. Next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Now, returning lessees can get the Ford F-150 for $299 a month for 24 months, only at your local Ford stores.
What you doing?
I'm locking in my prize picks. It's the best way to win big on fantasy sports.
Yeah, like what? I got you. Oh, a black genie.
You picked 6 right. You win 25 extra cash. Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100.
Dive into the world of Win Reality. Experience unlimited at-bats from more than 600 pitchers. Training that simulates all game situations and head-to-head action with family and friends. Master your timing, pitch recognition, and hitting mechanics with expert coaching.
Let's see the progress.
So when your moment comes, you'll be ready. Win Reality. Baseball uncaged.
That his dad kept the gun in his closet.
Sometimes I dream about you falling through the sky. Can hardly believe my own
Disasters don't take a break for the holidays. With your help, neither does the Red Cross.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
If you get a phone call, do not talk to the person.
Never, ever give out your Medicare number. Just hang up.
I check my Medicare statements monthly. To report Medicare fraud, contact the Senior Medicare Patrol in your state.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show with Championship Sunday just 2 days away. Let's take a look at the franchises with the most playoff wins all time. In NFL history, it's a three-way tie atop this leaderboard with just one team still alive here in 2024. The San Francisco 49ers could head to the top of the mountain with a win over the Detroit Lions and break a three-way tie between them, the Pats, and the Packers. Not only could the franchise make history, the head of the snake, Brock Purdy, could join this list of starting quarterbacks to win at least 4 playoff games in his first 2 career seasons in the league. Big Ben, Mark Sanchez, and Russell Wilson are all card-carrying members of this exclusive club. Kickoff between the Lions and Niners is 6:30 on Sunday.
It's Bet365, announcer man. Not 365. It's Bet365. There are hyphens between every number.
Wow. Serious?
Yeah. It's game time, brought to you by Tullamore Irish Whiskey. The Rangers host Vegas tonight. With coverage immediately following us right here on 98.7. Don's going to be at the Garden. Go up and say hello. He might buy you something. That's game time, brought to you by Tullamore Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Yeah. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the brand new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
It's also on ESPN tonight.
Look at that. Look at that. So Kenny's off. Well, Kenny's doing the radio, right?
That's right. Sam's off. Although he's got to come to the Garden because we're all going to Ottawa after the game. Big party.
We mentioned this earlier. Awful Announcing is on it. Somebody at Awful Announcing listening to the show, 6 minutes ago, they tweeted this out. Kendrick Perkins just wished the Michael K. Show a Happy New Year on January 26th. I was a little alarmed by that.
Yeah, but...
Well, and by the way, was it his last visit with us post-New Year's?
Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah.
So it's our second Happy New Year. He violated the New Year's code. But can I tell you something? I think all three of us can agree. Perk, he might have to be a regular. He gets better and better with every call.
He is an ESPN guy.
Yeah, you don't want to shill, Peter.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to shill.
So we're shilling,
you
you're saying.
You don't want to shill.
But even though he's not only been dead on the Knicks and very high on the Knicks, in spite of the fact that he's not, affiliated with the Knicks in any way. He's very interested in this team. And the fact that he has direct experience with both Thibodeau and Doc Rivers, so he's a perfect guest for this week. You still think it's shilling?
Shilling. It's Kurt. It is. It's Kurt.
Oh, come on.
Let's go to Anthony in Hawthorne. What's up, Anthony?
There you go.
Hey, guys. Good afternoon.
Same to you.
I just wanted to make a point real quick. My wife surprised me with tickets last week for the Ravens-Texans game, and then she got tickets for Sunday as well. But I just wanted to make a point that...
What a great wife.
Yeah, very nice wife.
I know, right? I was like...
You did well.
I was floored, but... So, I've been to a lot of games there. I've never been to a playoff game there. It's definitely one of those stadiums that are kind of underrated as far as how loud it gets, I think. I don't think it gets enough recognition for that as far as like Seattle.
I've been. You're right.
So the Texans had, I think it was 5 pre-snap penalties. And I think this game coming up, it's going to be even louder there. And I don't think I've heard too many people or analysts talking about that. And I think that's something that definitely needs to be taken into consideration when people pick this game.
Well,
I know Patrick Mahomes is, he just played in Buffalo. It gets pretty loud there too. But I don't know. I think this is kind of like a different atmosphere.
Anthony, you had me, but you kind of like made my point. Even if it's extraordinarily loud, it can't be much louder than what they had to deal with in Buffalo, including, frigid temperatures. It's not going to be cold in Baltimore. So I don't know if that's going to be a factor in picking this game.
It is definitely an underrated home field advantage. I never was there for a playoff game. I did a Jet-Raven game during the season there. It is a great atmosphere. But you won in Buffalo, so I don't think it's an advantage, but it can't be any more of an advantage than the Bills had.
I have parked in the parking lot to do Yankee Oriole games across the parking lot, but I've never been in that stadium.
I've been to one Ravines game in Baltimore, and it's an electric place. I give credit where credit is due.
My memory, we went there. It was our 100th game. This is how weird the station is, but I give them credit. It was Greg and I's 100th game, And I said, we should do it live for the 100th game. And they agreed. So we drove down to Baltimore, listening to Johnny Cash. And we parked in a lot. There was a fair distance from the stadium. I don't know if this has ever happened to you. You don't know the lay of the land. So the entrance to where we had to go for press was maybe like 500 feet to the right. But we guessed wrong, went left, and ended up walking around the entire stadium.
Greg must have been a joy.
I had the Comrex to carry and everything. I thought we were going to lose Greg that day. Well, both because of the physical exertion of having to walk around basically the entire city of Baltimore, and then his anger at the situation.
Frank in Staten Island. Frankie.
Hi, good afternoon, gents. I listen to you every day, and I've not called you until now. And I just wanted to touch on a point that you guys have not heard or have brought up. With gambling, the legalized gambling, you know what the real travesty is?
What's that?
Is that young kids that are growing up with their phones in their hands, like you guys spoke about the other day, nonstop, right?
Yep.
What's happening is with the live gambling, these kids are in their phones nonstop. So as opposed to, like, I gambled when I was younger, and you know how I gambled? I went and talked with a local bookie and bet with the bookie from 6 to 8 at night. It was over.
Right.
Then I went with my family, my kids, and so forth. So I see that as a big problem. I have kids of age, and this is what I see going on.
Oh, yeah, but you know what? I don't know how you guys feel about it. I feel like it was a problem with the phone way before legalized gambling. I saw something on social media. Maybe Peter saw it. There was a concert. I don't know who it was in concert. And everyone in the crowd had their phone up, like videotaping the.
Well, I don't think he's talking about the dangers of a phone. I think we all know that. He's talking. I mean, legalized gambling has opened up a portal for people that have a predisposition to be addicted to something, to really lose their shirt. But again, your representatives that you elected and the vote that you people had, you legalized gambling. It's legal.
And you can make the case, Michael, that it's a little bit better that it's legal, where it can be monitored. And we constantly, at the end of every read, give a disclaimer about a number if you've got a problem with gambling. You can make the case that we cleaned it up. I mean, those people that have a gambling problem would be betting, as the caller just said, before legalized gambling, he'd go to his bookie. That's not exactly how you want to live life.
Yeah, but he's also saying that now you can make a bet on every single pitch, on every single play.
Well, you know, I'd go out with buddies, and we would have, not for big money, we would bet different things during the course of the game. I mean, I just think it's a lot more organized. It's a lot more structured now. It's just, I think it's the right thing to do. To say, let's not do it because there might be people with a problem, then stop selling alcohol. You know, stop selling fast food because there's morbidly obese people that want to go to McDonald's. I mean, you can't just shut everything down because people are going to take advantage of it and get addicted to it.
No, people have to live their own life. They really do.
Yeah.
And I think if we didn't read the ads, I still think people would know that gambling is legal.
Hey, I told you when this first thing happened, this is going to be the bulk of our advertising because it's right in our wheelhouse. It just makes sense.
I know, and that's another thing that for the people who criticize it. I mean, are you aware of the state of radio? Radio's, listen, it's a consistent medium. It's hung on pretty well over the last 15 years, considering the emergence of new tech. But when sports gambling came along and started pouring tons of money into our business, you think we're just saying, no, take it back. This is even though it's legal, it's beneath us. Come back to me.
Canadians forward Brendan Gallagher has been suspended for 5 games without pay for an illegal check to the head of New York Islanders defenseman Adam Pelech.
Now, we knew that it was only going to be a maximum of 5 because it was an over-the-phone hearing and not an in-person hearing. So we knew the maximum can only be 5. Take a look at the video. Don't pretend like, oh, I don't know hockey. It doesn't matter. Just be a human being. Take a look at that and tell me that only deserves 5 games.
Also, the Canadians did something very classy yesterday with Patrick Waugh. During the national anthem, they played highlights of him as the Canadians' great goalie, and he looked like he was visibly moved on.
No, he was, and it was the ovation went on for like 3-4 minutes, which is crazy because he's been back there, honored, and when he was the coach of the Avalanche, but they just know how to put on a show there. And like there were people wiping their eyes when it was Peter's been there. I'm telling you, even if you're not the biggest hockey fan, you got to see a game at the Bell Center. They just do it right, and I saw that.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
I thought everybody with MSG that had it on the broadcast took it, and it was really just amazing. And they tweeted it out. So terrific job out of everybody over there.
You know what's weird though? I mean, it's hard to explain these things. After they showed that video, they all booed Jerry Krause. I don't get it. Yeah, it's very odd. Let's go to Tim in Sackett's Harbor. I've never heard of Sackett's Harbor. Where is that, Tim?
Hey, guys, good to see you. I'm a first-time caller. I'm an hour north from Syracuse.
Oh, okay.
Up on Lake
Wow,
Ontario.
that's close to Canada. All right, cool.
So you probably say a boat.
Yes, exactly. Lifelong Yankee fan. I know this might be a little bit off topic. Don Mattingly fan growing up, and of course, I had him in the back of my mind all the time when the new Hall of Fame inductees come out, and I did a comparison with Joe Mauer.
Pretty remarkably similar, right?
I'm blown away. Unbelievable. I think Mattingly has got him in all the major categories except triples, which is basically a meaningless category in terms of the Hall of Fame, but batting average, total hits, doubles, home runs, gold gloves.
Well, Mauer was a catcher, so that's going to bring the numbers down.
Mattingly with 1 batting title, Mauer with 3. They each have an MVP. I get it, Tim. We thank you for the call. We mentioned this on Tuesday. Listen, I think if Mattingly was on the ballot now, with the information that's available to the writers, and again, shame on them for needing numbers to tell you that Don Mattingly is a Hall of Famer. I mean, I think Joel Sherman wrote a column that he would probably vote for Mattingly now if he had the opportunity. It was either Joel or Jason Stark, but the bottom line is Don Mattingly should be in. If you look at Kirby Puckett's numbers, remarkably similar to Mattingly's. Obviously, Kirby won 2 World Series. Mauer never did, never won a World Series. I think he won 1 playoff game. His numbers are remarkably similar. The fact that Mattingly, I think the most he got, Don, was 25% of the vote. It's shocking to me. And Mauer's a first ballot guy, and I think Mauer's a Hall of Famer. But if Mauer's is a Hall of Fame, and Mauer's career kind of like parallels Donnie's, because after he got those concussions and couldn't catch anymore, the bulk of his greatness was in the first 7 years. The bulk of Mattingly's greatness was in the first 6. But for those 6 years, was there a better player in baseball than Don Mattingly?
It's a tough comp. I get the Kirby Puckett one. It's a tough comp with Mauer because Mauer was a catcher. You're talking about a 3-time batting champion as a catcher. You know, it's pretty amazing what he was able to accomplish. He won an MVP, Gold Glove catcher, one of the best defensive catchers, and it's a tough comp because of the position. But the Kirby Puckett one I think is better. Listen, I think Don Mattingly and Keith Hernandez are Hall of Famers. I'm not sure. I know Donnie with the back. Is it the fact that he's a Yankee that didn't win?
Maybe
wasn't his fault.
And you know what gets me too? He won the MVP in '85. And if you have time tonight, everybody watching and listening, go check out his numbers in '86. He probably had a better year. But he lost the MVP to Roger Clemens, who had a great year with the Red Sox when they went to the World Series. Think about it, Don. If he's a 2-time MVP winner, is he in?
Now,
he might be,
think
right?
That'd be enough. Yeah,
he might be. And then think about how close it was for him to win that second MVP and the rarity of a pitcher getting that award, as well as the Cy Young. So if Mattingly gets the award in '86, I don't know. He might be in too.
And did Boggs won the batting title in '86 too?
Right.
Because I just remember going through that time as a fan that I think, like, because the Red Sox were going to win the division, they rested Boggs. He could have won a batting title too that year. So if he has another batting title and another MVP, does he get in?
He might. And remember, Boggs was criticized for not playing the last 3 games, and then he played in the postseason to protect the batting title. I know that. A lot of Yankee fans were upset with that. So if he wins the batting title, so 2 batting titles and 2 MVPs. But does that change things? Because he still had a great year. It's still an unbelievable year.
Yeah,
and again, how often does a pitcher win?
So he finished, his batting average that year was 356. God, 356.
Was that Donnie?
So with Donnie. So what would Boggs? That's
I'd say Boggs had to be like 359 or 360.
86. His batting average was 368.
Wow. Even if he played those 3 games.
Yeah, and listen, you can't kill a guy that's resting for the playoff. The games were meaningful down the stretch, and it sounded like he had a pretty wide margin. I don't know what Donnie did that weekend, But, he beat him out by a pretty, like 14 points, Michael.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, it's the ESPN New York Superbox Bonanza 5. This year, each qualifier will take home a $25 Fanatics gift card and have a chance.
My favorite babysitter is Annalisa. She's pretty good. She's like my grandma. She says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" She plays with me. She helps you feel better. Bugs and insects are healthy for you. Amelia took us to the beach. She teaches me some gymnastics. We color. We draw flowers, and then we go skateboarding.
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
How do I know I have mold?
Why do water pipes break?
Home questions don't have to keep you up at night. Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project, from a small fix to a big remodel. See transparent prices, read verified reviews, and book with just a tap. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
Jeff has a problem. It started when he ordered his Brunt workboots. He's beating them up 14 hours a day, going on about how they're comfortable as sneakers, but he never takes them off. At my place, with his buddies, at night, I caught him in the shower, and he just goes, "What? They're waterproof." I don't know if we're gonna make it through the 30-day risk-free trial.
Of course they will, babe. They're super durable.
I'm not talking about the boots, Jeff.
Brunt, the tools you wear. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
The next Powerball drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
Guys with bad jeans. Are they worth it?
Jeans go with everything.
They go with nothing. Dudes, get the new Only Pant by Fabletics.
Awesome.
Want one pair of pants that does everything like magic? Breathable cooling tech. Always stretch. Secure phone pocket.
Bro, I'm in an Only Pant ad.
Water repellent. Work, golf, date night, hiking, biking. It's so everything.
See this stretch?
You forget about the deal you're getting.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get the Only Pant for $19 at Fabletics.com.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
He told me about a medication called Camzyos. He said Camzyos works by targeting what's causing my obstructive HCM. So he prescribed it, and I'm really glad he did.
Camzyos is used to treat adults with symptomatic obstructive HCM. Camzyos may improve your symptoms and your ability to be active. Camzyos may cause serious side effects, including heart failure that can lead to death, a risk that's increased if you develop a serious infection or irregular heartbeat or when taking certain other medicines. So do not stop, start, or change medicines or the dose without telling your healthcare provider. You must have echocardiograms before and during treatment. Seek help if you experience new or worsening symptoms of heart failure. Because of this risk, Camzyos is only available through a restricted program. Before taking Camzyos, tell your doctor about all of your medical conditions, including current or planned pregnancy.
Today with Camzyos, I don't lose my breath as often. My symptoms have improved, helping me go from expecting less to experiencing more. My name is Mike, and this is my Camzyos moment. Call your cardiologist today and see if a Camzyos moment may be in your future too.
All right, it's game time. We gotta watch the Bucks game too. Giannis already got 20 points in the first quarter.
League Pass goes hard.
Hey, check out the heat. Jimmy Buckets is on fire. The Lakers and the Nuggets are in OT. Ooh, Luka just put a dude on a poster. Jalen Brunson out there snatching ankles. Ooh. Go back to Golden State. Home team view.
This is NBA basketball at its best, folks. I'm never leaving.
I'm gonna want you to leave eventually. After basketball.
If anyone knows the joy of rescuing animals, it's me. Just ask my rescues, who are all very important members of my family. Your life can also be forever changed by adopting a shelter pet. And it's not just about happiness your pet gets from finding a loving home, but that which you'll get from bringing them into your life. The heroes at American Humane have been helping animals for more than 140 years, whether it's rescuing animals caught in disasters, ensuring the safety of animal stars on screen, or protecting our planet's endangered species. They go above and beyond to further their mission and make the world a kinder place for animals. Please consider adopting a shelter pet and support American Humane. You can learn more at AmericanHumane.org.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids right here in our own backyard are facing hunger every day? Without healthy food, it's harder to grow, to thrive, to feel their best.
The impact when children don't have enough to eat is tremendous, because when you're hungry and your basic needs aren't being met, you cannot learn.
Every child deserves to be fed. This is a problem we know how to solve. Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Breakfast in the classroom contributes to kids being more focused, which leads to higher grades, and simply just their well-being.
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
If you get a phone call, do not talk to the person.
Never, ever give out your Medicare number. Just hang up.
I check my Medicare statements monthly.
To report Medicare fraud, contact the Senior Medicare Patrol in your state.
Pick-up football. Pick-up football. Are the Michael K. Show. Pick-em Pro Picks. Three.
All right, so pretty much Peter Chosenberg is the champion. Can't be caught. He has won for the second straight year in impressive fashion. I think he's 11 games over 500, which is amazing in this day and age and this year.
Against the spread.
Against the spread.
Some people can't do this against with just straight picks.
You're an amazing human being. That's why you're Peter Chosenberg.
Thank you.
Peter Chosenberg.
I'm happy and honored.
Don is leading me by 2.5. We're running out of time. But things could change in one day. So I had the best week last week with 4 points.
Wait, hold on. I'd like to jump in here as the chosen one. Let me just quickly throw out my picks, because you guys are the action. It's about you two. I'll get mine out quick.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point.
Let me just say mine quickly.
You're playing your backups this week.
I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. Detroit. I mean, they were my guys all year, and yes, I do get scared of them on the road, playing outdoors, all that stuff. I hear it all. But San Francisco showed real vulnerability. I think this Detroit team is the real deal. Is there a world in which they just fall on their face against San Francisco's defense? Sure. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to play them tough. I like the Lions to keep it within 7. And, guys, even though I was hesitant about that number, I have changed course. I'm going to lay the 4 with the Ravens. It just feels like their year. Why am I going against the guys who I ultimately think are going to compete for the Super Bowl? It's not that big a number. And can't you picture a world in which the Chiefs put up a great fight and it was miraculous that they beat Buffalo, but then they just don't have it and get walloped in Baltimore? Give me Lamar Jackson's redemption tour, the middle finger to the world tour. I'll take the Ravens laying the 4.
All right, so what's your 3 and your 2-point pick, you hackadoodle?
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Ravines for 3 and the Lions for 2.
All right, so I had more points than Don last week, and I've got some ground to make up, and here we go. I'm going to go with the 49ers. and that's my 2-point pick. I look at it this way. Detroit's impressive. Detroit's the story that everybody loves. They're the warm and cuddly Lions. They haven't done this in 31 years. They're fun. I think the world is rooting for them. They love Dan Campbell. But they struggled against the Rams by 1 point. And I think that Sean McVay screwed up the clock, and they had a chance to win. And they struggled against a Bucs team that I just didn't think was very, very good. So, yeah, they won both of the games. Take nothing away from them. And of the 4 defenses left in the playoffs right now, the Lions have the worst one. Not even close. So if you have Samuel able to play, I think Purdy with a dry ball is going to be better. They'll put up some points. Now, we look at 7 points and say that's a lot. I'm glad it's not 7.5. It's 7. But you win 24-14, you won. So I think the 49ers are good enough to cover that number. So I'll take the 49ers over the Lions. My 2-point play, my 3-point play. All week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I was so in on the Chiefs. So in on the Chiefs. But the Thuney injury really scares me. It really scares me. And then the Ravens getting back their tight end, Mark Andrews, that means a lot too. So I'm going to make the mistake, I think, but I'm going to do it anyway. I am going to go up against Patrick Mahomes. I always ride the Chiefs. I like what they do. But the bottom line is they don't have a great wide receiving core. It's going to be tough if they have to play from behind. Now, my big question is about Lamar Jackson. Is he going to step up in a big game? He did last week. He has a history of not.
He really did.
He did step up. Not in the first half, but in the second half. So does he continue that? Was that a weight off his shoulder? We'll see. I think they win. I think they win by about a touchdown. So I'm going to take the Ravens as my 3-point play, giving 4 points to the Chiefs.
Interesting. So that's your 3 points.
That's my 3.
Well, I'll always look at championship week as this way. Just give me a good game.
That's all you want.
You know, and I think one of these games potentially is going to be a classic and the other one's going to be a dud. So when I look at it, Michael, to me, the best chance of it being a classic is Chiefs-Ravens. And I agree with everything that you said about the Ravens. I think they're winning this game. But you could split the difference and say, but will they win by 4? Or will the Chiefs go out with a fight, lose on a last-second field goal? And that's kind of how I see it. As much as I don't think they're the same Chiefs team, that's why I don't think they'll win. But to at least honor what Patrick Mahomes is, I think it's going to come down to the Ravens not covering the number. Plus, I'm a little bit scared about the history of Lamar Jackson in the postseason. Only a couple of wins, and the one win that he did have was against Houston, which wasn't really heavy lifting for him. Only threw for 158 yards, didn't have to do very much in that game. So there is a hurdle he's going to have to get over. He will, but I think Patrick will keep him in it, and that'll be my 2-point play. And my 3-point play is the way the other one goes. The best chance of a blowout of the Niners. I think they toyed around with the Packers and almost lost. I certainly think they learn their lesson there. I love Detroit. I'd love to see the Lions win. I really would. It'd be great. Somebody new, somebody fresh. But they just don't have the defense to slow this 49er team down. And with the weather being great, I just think the Niners are the better team. It's only 7, so I think they'll win by 10. They'll cover. So I've got the Niners as my 3-point play, and I've got the Chiefs as a dog as my 2-point play.
Do you realize, Don, the Chiefs and the Ravens will decide whether I'm in or out?
That's right, because if it goes to 4.5, then it's over, because we only have a 3-point play for the Super Bowl. Or it could be.
It could be I'm ahead by a half point.
Well, we'll also see, too.
Me?
Because because it's not a wash, because I could still, if the Niners cover, I still pick up a point.
No, I have the Lions too.
You have the Lions? Yeah. I thought you picked the Niners.
I thought you said, so you're picking the Lions?
No, I'm picking the Niners.
Oh, so am I.
But that's your 2-point play. It's my 3.
Oh, I see. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So right there, if you're right, I get a point.
We got there.
Interesting.
It took time, but
it doesn't matter, because it's either going to be under 3 or over 3. If it's over 3, then it's done. If it's under 3, then we'll see.
All right, so let's get the usual suspects. We have Fortinbaugh's picks. Peter, what does Bear say? And you haven't asked the manager of the Yankees, have you? Done?
I did, but I texted him during the break, and I really thought he would have gotten back to me.
Well, we have ENN.
Yeah, that is true.
Let me start with incarceration.
Okay.
He's going for it this week. He's got the Ravens minus 2.5 in the first half. He's got the Ravens minus 4 for the full game.
Loves the Ravens.
Loves the Ravens. Also has, sorry, giving me a second. He likes Detroit getting the points. And he has the prop bet of Purdy to throw at least an interception.
How many? You broke it away.
Yeah, you broke out. You cut out.
Oh, sorry. Purdy to throw at least one pick.
Okay.
And he has Mark Andrews over 34.5 yards receiving.
Nice.
Those are his props.
Bear the dog?
Bear the dog riding with the animals, going with the Lions to cover the points.
And 45?
Michael, I got to think about it. I got to think. Let me think. Who makes sense for me this week? I don't like San Francisco. Nancy Pelosi, not a fan. I'll go. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes. I call him Patrick and the Little Mahomies. That's what I'm going with. I love Andy Reid. Andy Reid, he's a strong man. He looks like the walrus. He is the walrus. Cuckoo, ka-choo. I'm going with the Chiefs.
And we have not heard from the manager yet.
No, but I've also I lost my signal, so I'm going to walk around the building.
Oh, boy.
And try to get it before ENN.
Remember the days when they used to walk aimlessly, Peter, just to get in steps?
Well, now I actually work out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting my steps still, but I'm doing it in a more legitimate fashion.
It's a totally different level, am I right? You look back at the old Don, and you understand what he was thinking, but you realize you looked like a fool.
Right, and now, and we're seeing results. On Thursday,
you look great.
Yesterday, I went to the 6 a.m. class.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, you had to be in there at 6 a.m.?
Because the kids had a dentist appointment at 10:30, and we had to take them out of school. I didn't want Nancy to do it herself, so I went to the 6 a.m. instead of the 9:30 to get my.
That's impressive.
Could we? Do you think we could ever get to the point, Don, where you compete in a tournament? I'd like to see it.
I would love to do it because there's a lot of people I'd like to fight.
So I have changed my my location for the auxiliary studio, and I found this picture. I thought it was cool. So if you can see it, this is young Michael Kay. I'm showing it on Yes, but I'll describe it for the radio audience. Young Michael Kay interviewing Patrick Ewing at the Garden when I did the MSG postgame.
Wow. And believe it or not, on a rare occasion, Peter, Patrick was actually engaged.
Patrick never agreed to do those interviews, so this was rare. Really, really rare. So,
wow.
I don't know if you could see it, Peter. You probably don't have a turn. But it's kind of cool. Look how much shorter I look, and I'm a strapping man of 6'4".
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
Patrick's all a 7'1".
7'1". 7'1". So there you have it.
He's very tall, that
He's
Patrick.
A tall man.
Petty Patrick, we call him. Very tall.
What do they call him?
He's very petty. Petty Patrick.
Hey, this new year, it's time to find a new...
My favorite babysitter is Annalisa. She's pretty good. She's like my grandma. She says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" She plays with me. She helps you feel better. Bugs and insects are healthy for you. Amelia took us to the beach. She teaches me some gymnastics. We like color. We draw flowers, and then we go skateboarding.
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
Switch to Square and take charge of your business and your time. Switch to fast setup and even faster checkouts. Switch to making every sale, every way you want, and every way they want too. Switch to one system connecting every tool to every task, even as your business grows. Switch to taking control and taking more free time, whatever that means to you. Make the switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
Jeff has a problem. It started when he ordered his Brunt work boots. He's beating them up 14 hours a day, going on about how they're comfortable as sneakers, but he never takes them off. At my place, with his buddies, at night, I caught him in the shower, and he just goes, "What? They're waterproof." I don't know if we're gonna make it through the 30-day risk-free trial.
Of course they will, babe. They're super durable.
I'm not talking about the boots, Jeff.
Brunt, the tools you wear. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
Who contribute to protecting all life on our planet. Because the future is in our hands.
The Community Food Bank of New Jersey is the state's largest anti-hunger organization. We provide nutrition. We provide support. We provide opportunity. We can't do it without you. Go to cfbnj.org to join us today.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to ENN.
Ray-Row.
ENN tonight is brought to you by Security Dodge. Go see Michelle Scalesian.
Yeah.
I'd like to start off tonight's big ENN by saying good evening to Michael.
I take everything in, Peter.
Good for you.
And good evening to Michael and Don.
Don, why don't you tell us about Mazda?
I don't have any read for Mazda.
I thought I did a good...
it was good ad-lib for sure.
A little ad-lib.
Yeah, I'm sure they appreciate it.
I truly, truly, truly enjoyed that. Guys, you guys have been able to see me on the video today, right?
Yeah, sure. Like you're doing it in the hallway.
Nothing looks familiar about this?
Oh, yeah.
Is this the place where you lost the title?
Yeah, look at that. I didn't realize it.
The Royal Rumble takes place tomorrow, and at the same Royal Rumble 3 years ago, though a few days later on the calendar, I won the 24/7 championship. And, of course, the next day, on February 1st, 2021, in a room in this hotel that looked just like this happened.
Peter,
Yes.
Do you have a balcony?
I do.
I think there's somebody coming in behind you, bud.
Yeah. You got to look.
No, I'm telling you, there's somebody behind you, Peter.
I didn't see anyone.
But
be very careful.
Yeah, be very careful, man.
Somebody again.
No, there's definitely somebody behind you,
Peter,
brother.
watch out.
Whoa. Hold on.
Don, what's happening?
Hold on.
Oh, goodness.
I think
no.
I think his title's on the line.
This is not good.
Oh, is he going to be able to hold this till next week?
WrestleMania. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3. See ya. That's it. Rosenberg has lost a 24/7 championship.
Michael Gadd, first time, long time. Hey, Don, what's up? This is my legacy. Peter Rosenberg, Hot 97, more like Hot 24/7. That's all, folks.
Oh.
Wow.
Congratulations
Wow,
on getting your title back.
Wow.
Wow.
What a moment.
It was a wonderful. It was a wonderful 24 hours. You guys, I don't know if you guys are going to see the clip on Yes. You look so different. Don, your beard, your hair, you have pandemic hair, you have a different beard, you're a different man. You really, Michael, do you ever realize Don changes looks quite a bit?
Yeah, he's a little chameleon. He really is.
Yeah, but this is because Peter's a friend and says, I don't want to go back to those awful times.
Right, because I didn't let you do what everyone else let you do.
Repugdon. I don't want to go back to Repugdon.
I refuse to ever allow Repugdon to be again.
We had a call yesterday we never got to, Don, a woman who said you look just like Jack Frost.
I don't know if that's a compliment. Would you take it as a compliment?
It's not. I don't think it's an insult.
I don't think I've ever looked more like George Lucas than I do right now.
And Michael McDonald.
Both handsome men, established, professional.
Peter, can we lift the curtain a bit? Because I think that little stunt that happened all those years ago, that you got hurt. I mean, he threw you down to the ground.
I did. I think I was a little banged up for a couple days.
You don't feel bad about it, considering how he won it originally by sneaking up on him.
No, if he would have taken a leg, I would have been fine with it.
The most impressive thing about that you guys probably can't appreciate is when I got thrown down and he went in for the pin, I had the presence of mind to grab the chair and pull the legs out so it fell so you could see me. Otherwise, I realized when I got out of the chair, the shot was completely blocked.
Look at you.
That experience, though, it truly did give me such appreciation for what those guys and girls do.
Also,
when you have
I never asked you this, okay? Wow. I never asked you this. As you're lying there on the ground, prone,
sure,
about to be pinned, are you thinking to yourself, what am I doing? Well, what's happened in my life?
What do you mean?
I went to college. I mean, I've got a job, so many jobs. Here I am in a hotel room being pinned by a man. I mean, did you wonder about the course of life?
Being pinned by a man.
The only thing I thought was, am I going to lose my championship here? Do I have? You're not thinking. You're thinking, do I have the energy to kick out of this pin? And then if I do kick out, Don, now I have to fight R-Truth. So you're better off just taking the L. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you.
Hasn't he had some health issues? Is he doing okay?
R-Truth is back. He's currently hot as ever. Anthony, would you say he's maybe the most popular guy going right now?
Yeah, he's up there, for sure.
He's killing it right now. But, he came on my podcast, GP, a couple weeks ago and revealed that he had gotten surgery, like kind of basic quad surgery, like a year back. And it led to an infection. And he needed like 3 different procedures. He had to walk around with a PICC line in. He was worried for a time that he was going to lose his leg.
Wow. I'm glad he's okay.
But the infection was cleared up. He's completely good, and he's killing it. You know what, guys? All this talking, it's making me feel a little tired. And it's making me want to just lay down.
Oh, no, don't.
And rest.
Oh.
So with that, we go to Coach Tom Thibodeau
a good bit.
on the big win over the world champs last night.
It was a good all-around win. We were high assists, low turnover, good rebounding, created good shots for each other. And you think every shot's going in with them. They take good shots, and they've been on the road for a while, so they're talented and they keep playing. They don't change style of play. They just keep going.
Did you see him when he first sat down? It would not have been Sleepy Tom Bobo. He was laughing uproariously.
Well, don't worry. He found a way to get right back to Sleepy Tom Bobo.
You didn't feel how big the win was through that.
Let's hear from Jalen Brunson on his goal of making an All-Star team.
Definitely is a goal of mine, but the most important thing is how we handle business playing night in and night out. Obviously, that's an individual goal, but I wouldn't be in that position or have that opportunity for my teammates and my coaches. As long as we win, I think individual stuff comes our way.
You know, they asked him about like being left out, and you know he's such a good dude. He said, "I just want to say congratulations to Damian Lillard."
Yeah, here he is talking about Dame Lillard.
Congrats to Damian Lillard. Thank you. Thank you. Dame is deserving himself.
Charles Barkley was on TNT. He was very surprised Brunson didn't get the nod.
I'm never going to throw shade at Dame Lillard. I love him as a person and as a player, but I would have loved to see Jalen Brunson be a starter. I said this last year. I can't believe what a great player he's turned into. When he went to the Knicks last year, I was like, that's a good signing. It's one of the best signings I've ever seen for a free agent. Nobody knew he was going to be that good. He has been fantastic. He's made the Knicks relevant.
He's right. And he said if Brunson's not on the team, he's not going to the All-Star game.
He went on to talk about how this is one of the great free agent signings of all time.
I'm never going to throw shade at Dame Lillard. I love him as a person and as a player, but I would have loved to see Jalen Brunson be a starter. I said this last year. I can't
This is
believe
awful. What an embarrassment.
Wow.
Well, I think there's another clip with him talking
You have a
about the level of free agent signing.
What are you guys talking about?
All right.
He essentially said it was a great sign. It might be one of the best signings ever in free agency.
Yeah, but that was Charles Barkley that was talking,
Right.
not Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah, we didn't say Kendrick Perkins.
Hello.
Why didn't you stop the cut then?
Here's what happened.
Because it was
Here's
the
what
second
happened.
time it was being played.
time he played it.
There were supposed to be two cuts: a shocked at Brunson snub cut, and then a one of the best free agent signings cut.
Not good.
I
see.
You don't like Don when you actually see how the sausage is made. It's not pretty.
No, you know why? Because you know what you see is in there?
Not good.
Just disgusting pig guts.
Failure?
Nobody wants.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Here I am in a hotel room being pinned by a man.
Yeah, it was just weird that a man. So if it had not been a man, would it have been?
Well, because let me try to help Michael without him getting in trouble with Phil Mushnick.
Yeah, right.
What Michael's saying is there could have been, or maybe there could be, a moment where I was being pinned in a hotel by a woman, and I wouldn't say what's happened to my life. Does that make sense, Michael?
Yes.
And you know what? I'm going to let my word stand.
Let's hear. You mentioned Perkins, so let's hear from Perkins.
He said
This
Happy
was
New Year,
him-
by the way.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, Kendrick. This is Kendrick and Stephen A. getting into it over the Brunson All-Star snub.
Jalen Brunson is a star and deserves all the credit in the world. But I'm sorry, this kid, Halliburton, #1 offense, leading the league in assists, averaging double the amount of assists as Jalen Brunson. There's a reason the fans, the media, and the players all voted for Halliburton over Brunson. And oh, by the way, when I look at Donovan Mitchell, 28 a game, playing in Cleveland, I'm supposed to ignore that? I picked Halliburton over Brunson at the point guard spot. You trying to tell me there's something wrong with that?
No, there's something wrong with you, and there's something wrong with the Knicks fan base.
Thank you.
And there's something wrong with the organization. Here's the problem. I voted for Tyrese Halliburton as one of my guards.
Same.
I also voted for Jalen Brunson. You know what the problem is that you are a prime example, along with the organization, of not promoting this man of what he is. When you talk about putting up the numbers with the best of them, when you talk about his production, I should go to New York and land and walk through LaGuardia or whatever airport and see
You can't handle it. You can't handle it.
Posters
Then you
of
can't take the
Jalen
weather.
Brunson.
He said you can't take the
LaGuardia?
weather? Is that Stephen A. said you can't take the
Yes.
weather?
I don't know what.
Hold on. There's a lot of drops to come from that.
Yeah.
There's LaGuardia. There's can't take the weather. There's a lot happening there.
I will say this, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The Knicks do not promote themselves the way they should. I think they lean on the fact that they're the Knicks. And that they're going to get attention anyway in Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. They don't make their GM available. He doesn't. He's never spoken to the media. It's extraordinarily difficult to get any of their star players on the air. And you can't say, well, who does provide star players? The Mets do. The Yankees do. They do. It's the way you do it. It's the way you promote your players. You can't always just depend on what they do on the court. There's got to be people have to see the type of person they are. They have to fall in love with them for another reason. Not just ignoring the media doesn't make sense. I know that the Garden sold out every single day. I get it. But there's more to it than that.
Now, I don't know if it's the motivation of just not wanting their players to go for rest or whatever, but you look around the league, watch games around the league, the constant promotion. Vote this player, vote that player. Don't forget the vote. Give the information. Like they in all sports, Michael, they pump it up. In baseball, don't they usually they paint the logo on the field?
Absolutely.
You know, because they really want to push that out there. And the Knicks, I get it. It's all about basketball. And what's odd about it is I think most fans don't care until their player doesn't get in the All-Star game, and then they flip out. But like during it, they can't be bothered, but then they expect somebody else to vote. I'm telling you, in places like Milwaukee and Indiana, they're really getting out there. That's where the votes are coming from. I know I get arguments, it's just, they're not a national team. Well, the Pacers, they're relatively new. Halliburton's been around for a while, but it's a recent phenomenon that how well he's playing. It's not people around the country. It's Pacer fans just probably hammering the vote because they see the value in that player going to the All-Star game. Plus, it's also in Indiana, too, so they probably were motivated to have him be there.
You have the fact that Lillard is getting votes probably from Portland as well as Milwaukee. There's a lot happening there. With regard to the All-Star game, by the way, LeBron James, his 20th All-Star selection.
That's stunning.
He passes Kareem for the most All-Star nods in history. Also, Steph Curry hinted that there may be, over All-Star Weekend, a three-point battle between him and Sabrina Ionescu, which would be pretty cool.
Well, that would be cool.
I'm all in for them doing fun things with the three-point contest. You guys know, remember I threw out the idea a couple years ago. I love the idea of them putting a legend in the three-point shootout with WNBA players. Why not? Anything to spice it up. There's no reason not to do it. I feel the same way about
I mean, you were a star in the celebrity game. Let you be in a three-point play.
I'll tell you, you're 100 for 100. Every time they show the replay, it goes in.
It's a great point, Don. And don't forget, they showed that package of me taking a shot before the game, and I nailed it from Lillard land.
Yeah. Three.
You know, I really have, now that you think about it, I really have accomplished a lot athletically.
Would you like us to call
you
Logoberg?
Oh, my God. If I do it again, Don, I want to go from Chosenberg to Logoberg. All right, guys, for the second to last time, let's get into this weekend's NFL announcer lineup. Shall we? The AFC Championship game. It's going on Sunday, January 28th on CBS at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Kansas City Chiefs heading to Baltimore, the 4-1-0, the 4-4-3. For a game of this magnitude, there's only one man. He's very friendly. His name is Jim Nantz.
Hello, friends.
He'll be joined by Mr. Anthony Romo VIII. Tracy Wolfson. Evan Washburn.
The lobby is bustling. There is an energy here.
And Jay Feely. Home teams 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 AFC championship games. How's Andy Reid feeling about playing Lamar and the Ravens?
I always had a ton of respect for him. From the time he got in the league on, he's playing good football. He's been doing it all year, and he's just carried it into the playoffs. Yeah. The league is lucky to have these young quarterbacks that are so good, talented. They've got a good team around him, and he's good. And so you figured somewhere we were going to be playing him once or twice.
Maybe some of them nuggies.
I was just going to say the same thing. It's
Patrick Mahomes on his first playoff matchup with Lamar Jackson.
Just looking at what he did in college, the Ravens organization, and how much success they've had my entire life, I knew that he was going to put him in the right position to win, and we were going to be playing a lot of big games, AFC Championship, playoff games, whatever that was. It's cool to see that we're finally here. We're finally playing in our first playoff game against each other, and it's going to be a great challenge.
We go to the NFC Championship game. It's at 6:30 Eastern.
Who's doing it?
I'll be watching. Oh, I'm glad you asked. It's on Fox, Michael. So Kevin Burkhardt's on the call.
These are definitely not pumpkins.
He'll be joined by Greg Wilson.
Did I do a good job shaving? Perfect. Thanks. Yep. I didn't brush my hair. She told me it didn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Thanks.
Aaron Andrews.
All right, old man. I can joke with you about that.
And Tom Rinaldi. Let's hear from Aaron Glenn on just how willing Detroit is to get dirty.
When we talk about gritty, that's who we are. Listen, we know exactly who we are. Are we the fastest? Are we the most talented? No, but we'll bite somebody's face off when we go play them. We'll bite a kneecap, too, if we have to.
Biting kneecaps, faces.
Love it.
They're very into that. That'll do it for your NFL announcer lineup. Andy and Ed brought to you by Security Dodge. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during their Starting Something New sales event.
Did you guys read Andrew Marchand just tore apart Nance and Romo?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to read the article. I saw the headline. What was it about?
That they're really struggling and they got to pick up their game. I mean, they have the Super Bowl this year. I mean, not good. I mean, it was. If you're Jim Nance and Tony Romo, you picked that up. That's not great. In the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. Afraid it's time for goodbye again. Daniel Craig, take it home.
That's a wrap on the show for today. Coming up next, Malvern, PA to Brooklyn, the origin story of Mikal Bridges. For all of us here on the Michael K. Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night. Enjoy Championship Sunday and your weekend. We'll see you Monday at 3 o'clock.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
Hey. Rental? Yep. You? Yeah. You know your shoe's untied.
Oh. Don't let a boxy suit ruin your night. Read from theblacktux.com.
You've heard our story. The one about measuring twice, cutting once, and building something you're proud to put your name behind. What are we building? A different kind of workwear, inspired by the values of those who put in the work. Run. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic, free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping, always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Guys with bad jeans, are they worth it?
Jeans go with everything.
They go with nothing. Dudes, get the new Only Pant by Fabletics. Awesome. Want one pair of pants that does everything like magic? Breathable cooling tech. Always stretch. Secure phone pocket.
Bro, I'm in an Only Pant ad.
Water repellent. Work, golf, date night, hiking, biking. It's so everything.
See this stretch?
You forget about the deal you're getting.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get the Only Pant for $19 at Fabletics.com.
Switch to Square and take charge of your business and your time. Switch to fast setup and even faster checkouts. Switch to making every sale, every way you want, and every way they want too. Switch to one system connecting every tool to every task, even as your business grows. Switch to taking control and taking more free time, whatever that means to you. Make the switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started.
I have to find a babysitter.
I have a lot of questions.
When can they start? Today? Now? Tomorrow? How about Saturday and Sunday?
I need any kind of day. My wife and I haven't been out in a year.
We need a date night. No offense. Help!
Can I check reviews?
Are they background checked?
Do I have to go pick them up?
Can they handle all this?
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
Nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Everything you've seen me do was made possible by what you don't see. We all have the strength to see what's possible. It's up to us to unlock it. Tonal, be your strongest.
If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos lung cancer, choose the right law firm by asking, what are your highest verdicts? What experience do you have? How many lawyers are on staff? How many clients have you represented? Speak to Weitz & Luxembourg at 800-LAW-6789 to get unmatched answers. It's the biggest financial decision of your life. Call 800-LAW-6789 or visit mesowin.com.
Icy hot. Ice works fast. Heat makes it last. Feel the power of contrast therapy, so you can rise from pain. Icy hot.
Diversity is in our nature. It is in nature, too. Biodiversity. It connects us and sustains us. But nature's biodiversity is at risk more than ever before, and the future of all life is in our hands. So what will you do? Love it or lose it?
How you doing?
Proud of you. Appreciate it. Proud of you, man. Look good.
How's everything?
It's so nice of you guys to come down. Not you. You have to. There's my girl. Oh, man. You look great.
You look great.
Villanova legend Mikal Bridges has prepared to officially retire his jersey.
And us being great friends since the first day we met, man. So I'm so happy for you, so proud of you. You deserve it. You put the work in. Keep going, Killer. Congrats. It was really nice, man.
I'm just so grateful. God is great. One of my family, coaches, friends, teachers, like, they made it possible. I think all I had to do was just show up. I know everybody that's been around me, I think they just molded me to the person I'm in today. I just so grateful and have everybody here in my life. So thank you so much. I'm happy we up. I'm happy we up 24.
Mikal Bridges, he's on the precipice of taking that next step.
He's been willing to put in the work every day of his career, and he's an everyday guy. And he commits himself to getting better. He identifies where he wants to improve on, and you just watch over time, you can see such a natural progression.
I'm glad that the authenticity of, he's still the same. Even for me, seeing him back from when he played basketball in school to Villanova and then now to the NBA, he's just a really good person, and that makes me really proud.
He got an opportunity and took full advantage.
The cut, the finish, and the foul, Mikal Bridges.
He really has elevated to another level.
We are extremely competitive.
Where did that start?
I know I've always been very competitive. I had goals sometimes that were very hard goals, but it was something that I knew it was attainable if I worked really hard. Grew up in West Philly, and that was during the time of it was a huge drug epidemic going on in the area, and it was a rough part of town. And I just always wanted to live a different life and not be subject to my circumstances. But it just really sparked this competitiveness in me, and I've always been that way. I was the first one in my family to go to college, and I really wanted to be different and wanted people to look up to me. And when I found out I was pregnant, I just felt like I let everyone down. And it was like one of the hardest times in my life because I had a lot of people doubt me and didn't think that, you know, I would be any different from what they seen around. I'm like a young teenage mom that didn't make it, you know, and that was hard for me. But I really used that just as my fuel to know that, again, I can do hard things. I'm capable of that. And I can be successful. And my son can be successful. But, you know, I told Mikkel, like, even when he has hard days, you know how the NBA is. It's just, you're never going to have a great game every night. And I say, you know, you're capable of doing hard things, Mikkel. Like, you're going to have bad days, but it's the setbacks in life that really propels us for our best comeback. And that's something that I always use and something that I believe in for sure.
I went to tennis camp when I was young. I used to play with my mom all the time when I was like 11. I mean, she used to whoop me every single time. Yep. Like, I'm getting in a car, not even like looking at this, like, who is this woman?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
No way she did me like this.
Exactly.
I'm looking out the window like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Pissed off. Like
Don't talk to me.
Like, pissed off, just looking out the window like, can't wait to get home so I go right in my room.
Yeah.
My mom used to get on me because she said, you have to let him win at some stuff. I was like, no, bro, no. I would literally beat him and I would never let him win. And my mom's like, that's not normal, Tania. Like, most parents let their kids win. I'm like, no, he has to earn the win.
And eventually, as I got older, more athletic, got a little lankier, got faster, I just started dominating.
Once Mikkel probably was like 13, I couldn't beat him at anything. He had a true gift of athleticism. He could play anything. Maybe Scrabble. I could beat him at that. Even though he thinks that I make up words, but I'm pretty sure I'm good at that. He was in high school and we were on the courts and I thought that I could take him. Because he was talking a lot of trash and I was like, come on, you're a suburban kid, Mikkel. Like, I'm from the city. And he went up and he like dunked on me and I fell backwards on the ground. And he said something around like, leave the baby off the streets, get the baby out the streets or something like that. I was mad.
I'm getting older, she's getting older. So it's just like, you know, sometimes you get older, the opposite way, you start coming down, but I'm just starting to grow. I'm starting to just be even more physical, more athletic. And I used to go crazy every time. I was like, I'm not losing. Like, I'm just not. And that's, I guess, where I get my competitor from.
It started when he ordered his Brunt work boots. He's going on about how they're comfortable as sneakers, but he never takes them off. With his buddies at night, I caught him in the shower, and he just goes, what, they're waterproof.
Brunt, the tools you wear.
At care.com, you can find all the help you need. You can find babysitters, dog walkers, housekeepers, and senior caregivers, which means you might also find a bit of relief. And the occasional stress-free errand. Maybe even a chance to go and take a bath every once in a while. Just imagine, downtime, clean floors, and, dare we say it, weekends away? Crazy talk, right? Except it's not. Not anymore. Find all the care you need at care.com.
The next Mega Millions drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
So, you need a suit, a tux even? Maybe you got invited to a fancy party, or you're someone's +1, and the last time you resorted to a warehouse, you didn't like the way you looked. This time, get a better suit from the Black Tux, and we'll deliver it with time to spare. Try it on. If the fit isn't right, we'll replace it right away, for free. And on the big day, you'll look as great as you feel. With the Black Tux, it's easy to look your best for every occasion. TheBlackTux.com. Formal wear for the moment.
Nets versus Rockets. Tomorrow at 5:30 on Yes and the Yes app.
Look, it's no doubt that being a young single mom brings about its own unique challenges. But, you know, one thing that was important for me is that you lead with love. You remember how important it is to be kind and really be transparent and lead with authenticity. Like, those are just some of the things that are important to me. But those are the things that I wanted to instill within Mikkel.
Single mom, it's not easy. I can't even imagine what that's like. But knowing that she had his back, and that bond was very special, and that was part of who Mikkel was, and is still to this day.
My mom just raised me right, just to be a better person. I think that's how it goes, and I don't know, be a hard worker. I think me being a hard worker, I think it just comes in the genes of seeing her and watching what she does, and it was just like natural, just watching how much she works.
I had like 1,000 things to do. It was like a serial multitasker. And I think Mikkel could see that. Like he could see like I would kiss him goodnight, and then I'll be like pulling out my books at 10 o'clock at night, doing my homework up to like 2 o'clock, get him up, make breakfast, get him to school, go to work, come home, and do that routine all over again. So I always wanted to push myself to be able to give Mikkel a better life that I had. I said, okay, like what will be the best ideal circumstance for both me and Mikkel? Well, I was working at Vanguard at the time, and Vanguard's in Malvern. And I said, all right, this is great. I'm gonna move to Malvern. You have to understand, like, there wasn't a lot of people like me, that it wasn't a lot of people of color, and there certainly weren't any single parent families. So, you know, I always felt like, almost like I wasn't good enough, you know, because I wanted Mikkel to have the absolute best.
Socioeconomically, you're going to see kids that have things that maybe kids would not have in the city. It's going to be a more Caucasian, less diverse community. Then coming into that, knowing what Mikkel is too, so loved by the community and so loved by his classmates from the moment he stepped foot on campus all the way through.
I had to just learn a little quicker than usual, and living in Philly until then, like all my friends were black and all that. I never had no white friends until I came up. But she knew, and she never lived in suburbs either, so she knew how it was gonna be different and prepared me for it.
I said, like, people may look down and people may have things to say, but you have to know that everyone's circumstances are different, but this doesn't define who you are. And not only that, like, you are going to be great. Like, I always would tell him that, like, no matter what you do, you're going to be great. Even when he was playing basketball, I said, Mikkel, you're going to be an NBA player. And he would laugh. Like, he didn't believe me. I think he just was so young, but I was legit saying that when he was maybe like in 3rd grade. You could do whatever you put your mind to. Like, you could do great things. Like, you call it, you believe it, and you'll achieve it. Like, it sounds simplistic in nature, but you got to have big, lofty goals. You just do in life.
My favorite babysitter is Annalisa. She's pretty good. She's like my grandma. She says, hola, ¿cómo estás? She plays with me. She helps you feel better. Bugs and insects are healthy for you. Amelia took us to the beach. She teaches me some gymnastics. We like color. We draw flowers, and then we go skateboarding.
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
We just shipped our 1,000th monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Guys with bad genes, are they worth it?
Jeans go with everything.
They go with nothing. Dudes, get the new Only Pant by Fabletics.
Awesome.
Want one pair of pants that does everything like magic? Breathable cooling tech. Always stretch. Secure phone pocket.
Bro, I'm in an Only Pant ad.
Water repellent. Work, golf, date night, hiking, biking. It's so everything.
See this stretch?
You forget about the deal you're getting.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get the only pant for $19 at Fabletics.com.
So, you need a suit, a tux even? Maybe you got invited to a fancy party, or you're someone's plus one, and the last time you resorted to a warehouse, you didn't like the way you looked. This time, get a better suit from the Black Tux, and we'll deliver it with time to spare. Try it on. If the fit isn't right, we'll replace it right away, for free. And on the big day, you'll look as great as you feel. With the Black Tux, it's easy to look your best for every occasion. TheBlackTux.com. Formal wear for the moment.
You've heard our story, the one about measuring twice, cutting once, and building something you're proud to put your name behind. What are we building? A different kind of workwear, inspired by the values of those who put in the work. Brunt. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
Because we the people means all of us. To learn more about defending our democracy, go to myaclu.org today.
In the city, the opportunities for basketball may be more there to play and be around it. Here, sometimes not as much. Got to find it a little bit more. I think their goals were stability, but also someone who's going to promote and give him an opportunity to really show what he can do. Here's a solid program that a coach is going to spend time, or his staff is going to spend time, lots of time. We'd be in here all year round working to make the program better and make the kids better.
So Mikal came out in 7th grade, and I recognized that he has some athleticism, but the reality is, athletically, he was not our best player on the team and was not a starter. So I think that is what has helped him to continue to improve, because he never had that, I don't think he ever had that stigma, like, I'm the big fish in the little pond. So he always worked to be better.
The first time I saw him walk in my office, it was the big smile. You see the height, you see the length, you see the way he carries himself. In that first meeting, you feel like, okay, this young man may have some potential. We don't know yet. I mean, this is the first meeting, but you see what he's bringing with his character. This is a potential. We'll see how this goes.
He was the big reason why I never played another sport in high school, because he always had leagues going on. We had fall league, we had summer league, we had spring league. We would always have open gym. So it was just like you really couldn't play another sport.
So our open gyms were interesting in that the kids wouldn't just come and play, like we played with them. And we were just as competitive, if not more competitive than the kids at times, especially on like a random Tuesday, Thursday when they're tired from school. There was one particular game I remember where I sort of whispered to him, like, hey, this is game point. You're going to take the shot. He took the shot, and their team won. And so that was kind of like my first impression of like, all right, there might be something here.
But once we got into the summer, that's when he got the experience of what it's really like to be in a program that's program-oriented. You're going to play hard. You're going to defend. You're going to learn to defend. You're going to share the ball. You're going to do all these things. And I say, like everybody else, he didn't want to play defense. He didn't want to play defense like all the other kids that ever came into the program. Sometimes he didn't want to pressure the basketball, or sometimes when his man passed the basketball, it's time to relax. And we, as coaches, you see the length, you see the ability to move, you see the height, and you know that if he's able to get these concepts, the sky is the limit to be a great athlete. On-ball defender, rebounder, box out, rotate. Listen, I'll tell you, it's not fun, but it's rewarding in the end. When you turn around and we look at the banner and you look at what's up there, defense is really where that comes from.
Mikel's mom was just the sun, the centerpiece, the cornerstone. You always knew that, you always got that vibe from her, and she was always open to having conversations, and her and Coach Nolan talked all the time.
If you ask Jim Nolan, he would say, we had some fights. Like, put my son back in the game, But look, I think you got to trust the coach. It was very evident that Mikel was the best player on the team, but Jim Nolan would never let you know that. Like, Mikel was no different from anyone else. He never treated Mikel special or made him feel like you're the star of the team.
Knowing that this is Great Valley, and not like a juggernaut powerhouse high school program. We just focused on the purity of the game. We were really pure and uncompromising about how to play the game of basketball the way we thought it was supposed to be played. And it was well suited for Mikal in the sense that as good as Mikal was, we would not let him take a lower quality shot if one of his teammates was open for a higher quality shot.
Cutting, pass and cutting, that was their offense, PC, pass and cut. And I was always playing off ball and easy points and playing the right way, and that's what it was. It was just cutting. And it's funny because that's like a lost thing because everybody has a ball in their hand. So like you go to college and I'm back cutting people, it's like this whole thing. People are like, whoa, like he's cutting like da-da-da because people are not used to it. I'm just like, I wish I could do what everybody, I wish I could come off ball screens, do all these moves, but people appreciate it, and I always had that, and then as I just kept developing my game, it's always just like a thing that I always learned that a lot of kids don't learn.
We were never going to allow the players to be satisfied with where they were. And so even though Mikal's talent and potential and upside was here, and someone else's may have not been as promising, we were going to, in a sense, nitpick Mikal. We focused a lot on the little things of the game that anyone, no matter what talent or what caliber, could do. And if Mikal was this good, he could still do these intangibles, these things that didn't show up on stats. So we would break down a lot of film, and if there was a play where, you know, Mikal got beat, someone drove by him, Mikal could very easily catch up and pin the ball right up against the backboard. And while the whole crowd would go crazy and pat him on the back at school the next day, we in the film room would say, why did that kid even get by you in the first place?
He was a great teammate. Loved his teammates, teammates loved him. What he showed, his character always radiated, and you just wanted to be around him. And he always did give a great effort, and he was always so coachable. And he always did everything that we could ask him to do.
For Mikal, like, he just wanted to win. No matter what was asked of him, he wanted to do it because he wanted to win. He was never someone like, oh, I want to go out and score 30 points tonight. It was, what does the coach need me to do to win? And then I respected that, you know, because he was like that young. I would say, like, I want you to score X amount of points, you know? And he would say, Mom, like, we just need to win. Like, sometimes it's not about me scoring points. I may be needed to do something else. So definitely respect the kid for that.
We just shipped our 1,000th monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
The next Mega Millions drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
You done yet? It's 2 a.m. Why are you still scrolling through videos? You're not paying me overtime here. If you really want to see something new, why not change those shades that have been broken for the past 2 years? Let's tap the Thumbtack app, and in a matter of seconds, we'll find a pro to install new shades.
Okay.
With Thumbtack, you can easily find top-rated professionals for every home project.
Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at square.com today.
This is the guy. Wait, this is the guy? You're thinking of getting your suit
From this guy? For your wedding? Are you sure? We can do better. The Black Tux is here to help. Rent or buy, online or in a showroom, on your terms. Shipped to you wherever you are, guaranteed to fit. Because you deserve better. The Black Tux, formal wear for your moment.
Win big while streaming the Nets with Pick and Play on the Yes app. Make your picks before tip-off and win up to $10,000. What a move! Yes, Pick and Play. It's the game within the game, only on the Yes app.
After that junior year, he did play AAU, but he played AAU with some of his teammates at a less competitive level AAU. We knew he needed to go to the highest level AAU that he could go to. Knowing where he was and knowing the potential, you had to do it. He had to go through it. And I know, even at that time, I'm sure that, were they thinking Mikal's an NBA player? Who knows? Even there at that point, I am not sure maybe much at that point.
The Nike EYBL is just the elite of the elite. I mean, there are Division I players who don't start on those teams, who will go play in the Big Ten, the Big East. That's how good the talent is. He was still a question mark. He was like a potential guy. Everybody's kind of looking at him like, this long, lanky kid, there's something there. And a lot of the big schools liked his length, and everybody's like trying to figure him out. And you can legitimately see, all right, Mikal Bridges is playing against a future first-round draft choice. Let's see how he matches up.
Man, ridiculous. Especially as a kid that's never seen anything like it. Just all these schools, Duke, UNC, like Nova, Michigan State, you're just crazy, man. It's like nerve-wracking, especially my first experience.
You could see the first time he played at that level that he was kind of gaining confidence every time he was on the floor. He was figuring out his own game at that time.
Each game, just nervous, trying to play the right way. I'll start here first game. And the second game, I get like this. The third game, I get like this. And the fourth game. And by the fourth game, I'm comfortable now. I've been in it, and I now understand the speed, the talent.
And what was amazing to us was he fit in so seamlessly because he did all of the little things, because he didn't need to be the go-to guy, but anytime he had to make a play, he was the most efficient guy out there.
Mikal was playing Peach Jam, and Larry Brown was in the gym. I was standing off to the side. He said, Bridges, you related to Bridges? And I was like, no, Mikal's mom. He looked, he's like, okay. He's like, that kid's gonna be an NBA player one day. And I jumped up, I gave him a hug. I was like, thank you so much. I've been saying this for so long. No one believes me. Went back and told Mikal, he just laughed at me like, okay, Mom.
My coach put me in a good position just to play how I play and just line it up, shoot, cut, get breakaway dunks, play some defense, get some blocks. So just keeping it simple, and I guess, Nova saw it and just, liked me.
I just remember right after team final, letter after letter after letter, I was like, oh my gosh, this is different. And, it felt good.
Later in that summer, his AAU coach said, you better get on him because everybody else, like Texas, Georgetown, Florida, everybody's offered him, and you guys are kind of still evaluating. And then we really started looking into his background, and that he grew up right around Villanova, and his mom was getting her MBA in Villanova. So we were like, this is a no-brainer.
I wanted to find out what was important to the coaches. The things that Jay believed, just the core of who he was and what he wanted to bring about in his student athletes. He wanted Mikal to be a good man. He wanted him to be a great student. He cared holistically about the athlete.
Meeting Tania and his dad and his high school coach, and then getting to know Mikhail, everything else fits so perfectly. You know, he wanted to come in and get better. He wanted to be coached. He wanted to learn. Tell me what I need to do. Coach me up. I want to be a great student.
I was really just trying to pick the best school for me, and Nova was that, and I wasn't looking at nobody else. Once I know it was close to home, easy for my mom and them to go to games, great education. I remember my grandma that's the biggest thing she was on, just know how great a school Villanova was.
Once Villanova was in the play, we had a team dinner, like coach and a few other assistant coaches came by the house. I cooked lasagna, and I got him a nice bottle of wine, and he kind of was like very relaxed. But after that, when they left, he was like, I'm going to Villanova. I was like, I know. Like he knew that that was a choice that he was going to make for sure.
I said to Tania after he committed, one thing I'll never forget, when he said to us, I'm coming in the house, she broke down crying. And she said, my job's done. And she sacrificed her life for him, truly.
I knew that all that hard work leading up to that place, that I trusted him with Mikhail. And that's something that's important. Like, I'm like giving up my child to someone else, and me just growing up being a single mom, like that was really important to me. And I knew that leaving him with Coach Wright, that I can take a deep breath. I could exhale and know that he's gonna take it where I left off and continue Mikhail's journey on the next phase of his life.
I have to find a babysitter.
I have a lot of questions.
When can they start?
Today? Now? Tomorrow?
How about Saturday and Sunday?
I need any kind of day.
My wife and I haven't been out in a year.
We need a date night. No offense. Help!
Can I check reviews?
Are they background checked?
Do I have to go pick them up?
Can they handle all this?
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
Guys with bad genes, are they worth it?
Jeans go with everything.
They go with nothing. Dudes, get the new Only Pant by Fabletics.
Awesome.
Want one pair of pants that does everything like magic? Breathable cooling tech. Always stretch. Secure phone pocket.
Bro, I'm in an Only Pant ad.
Water repellent. Work, golf, date night, hiking, biking. It's so everything.
See this stretch?
You forget about the deal you're getting.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get the Only Pant for $19 at Fabletics.com.
Switch to Square and take charge of your business and your time. Switch to fast setup and even faster checkouts. Switch to making every sale, every way you want, and every way they want too. Switch to one system connecting every tool to every task, even as your business grows. Switch to taking control and taking more free time, whatever that means to you. Make the switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started.
We really like to recruit physically tough, physically strong guys. So Mikhail was kind of out of our normal recruit, and it was because he was so slight.
I never forget, Jay was like, he's playing against grown men, and his small frame, he needed to like get into the weight room and bulk up to be able to play against grown men.
When we did make the redshirting decision, we all decided, like, this guy's going to be really good. How quickly can we expedite this physical maturation? So the decision was like, look, Mikhail, you can play with these guys, but we got to use 4 or 5 days a week on weightlifting, strength training, and not as much on basketball to get you there quicker.
I understood it. It was just tough. You're telling a kid that's 17 years old playing every year of his life pretty much, that he has to like sit out a year and he's like completely healthy. You know, that's strange. I never done anything like that. So I'm like, all right, like just kind of put my pride aside, but also knew like I'm not a one and done type of guy. Like this is building and this is for my future. So I needed this year. I mean, that was the toughest year of my life, but the best year for me. And mind you, I have my roommate Phil, who's playing. Oh, we had the biggest love-hate relationship in the world. Oh, I hated that man with a passion when it came to on that court.
At that time, I was playing like 15 minutes a game a little bit, but his schedule was way more worse than mine. When you're not playing, it's tough when you're just working out every day, lifting. We have practice, he still practices, and then he has to like work out after, and he probably had lift before. So he was extremely exhausted. He would come back to the room just kind of just like dead a lot of the time. It was way harder for him in terms of being off the court than people realized.
Everybody's talking about the game and things like that, and I'm just sitting there like I don't play. And, you know, that's kind of like the embarrassment a little bit. Eating me alive, wanting to be out there, and so it was tough on me, especially mentally. But my boy Phil, my best friend to this day, he got me mentally right. Like we just chilled in these little dorms, and we both had TVs like right in front of our beds, and we just play Madden all day. You know, chill, have fun, and that's like one of the biggest things that like kind of really helped me get through my freshman year. It's just, I think he felt what I was going through, and just kind of just helped me get through it. Just, you know, and I appreciate him for it.
Our practices are pretty physical. We play very hard. So on that team, we had Darren Hilliard, who was like second team All-American. Then we had Josh Hart, was a sophomore. I think he won Sixth Man of the Year that year in the Big East, so Josh was very good. And that was his matchups every day in practice, so dealing with those two guys had the battle, and I think that made him so much better.
Josh Hart would struggle with him. He'd block Josh Hart's jump shot like once a practice and be going down the other end, and Josh would be chasing him down. And we knew what Josh was going to do. And he was redshirting, he was, you know, like 165 pounds, and we were like, no, Josh, no. And he would just annihilate him, knock him into the walls. Thank God we had padding. And Mikhail pop up and be right in him the next play.
I'd never sensed that he wavered at all. I sensed him 100% supporting his teammates. I saw him dive in 100% to his development, realizing that maybe he just did need that little bit of extra time and embracing it and taking full advantage of it.
The most important tool on any job site in America is the one you wear on your feet for 40 hours a week.
Wait, what?
My name is Eric Gerard. I started Brunt Workwear in my garage for my buddies in the trades.
The modern construction worker has different needs than they did 100 years ago. That's why at Brunt, our gear is designed by workers for workers with premium technologies like triple layer comfort, slip and oil resistant soles, and a triple layer waterproofing system. Go online for free shipping and try any of our gear on the job for 30 days, risk-free.
The next Mega Millions drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
My favorite babysitter is Annalisa. She's pretty good. She's like my grandma. She says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" She plays with me. She helps you feel better. Bugs and insects are healthy for you. Amelia took us to the beach. She teaches me some gymnastics. We color. We draw flowers, and then we go skateboarding.
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
What did I say in the huddle? Right? And I said, if you catch a ball on the perimeter, you have plenty of time to drive. There's 4 seconds. Okay. He flew at you, shot, fake, drive. You don't want to, with 4 seconds, throw the ball off the top of the backboard. You want to get good shots. All right? Get to the paint. Mikhail, you're jogging. Let's go, Blue. Let's go. Get matched up. Wake up.
What are the traits and values that set the Nova program and the Nova players apart?
I think it's the culture. What Coach Wright drills into you. Playing for each other, playing hard, playing together. I think we all came in with open minds, but when we left, we kind of had that really instilled in us, and we still carry it to this day.
Like attitude, that's like the biggest thing. Man, that's what we say after every huddle, after every time we break, like at lunch and we all bring it in, is always attitude.
how you respond when something doesn't go right. You get back on defense after a turnover, you miss a shot, don't get mad, get back on defense, just kind of respond the right way.
Obviously, I don't run around here like I used to in college and run around clapping, yelling attitude, but it's always in the back of my head and how I carry myself.
After a full year of lifting, working out, he came in ready to go. I mean, he was waiting for it, and he made an immediate impact on our team.
He's coming in as a redshirt freshman. We had a really good team. We had Ryan Orchidiak was a senior, Daniel Cheffa was a senior. We had mature guys, you know, Josh Hart, Chris Jenkins. So we were thinking of him as like, this is a sixth, seventh man off the bench, our defensive stopper. But he finished every game.
Coach Wright loved him that year. He was so disruptive on the defensive end, his length. He was getting a real feel for the game, and he was a big punch for that year for us. I mean, we didn't have a guy like Mikel on that team, and he kind of brought something to the court that we needed, the energy, that length, just that presence out there.
His first year, he was an unbelievable defender, and as the year went, he was always out there in key moments, especially towards the end of the games when we needed stops.
I remember our game in the final 8 against Kansas.